touch them with a little bit of cook spray to get them going. And I don't think anybody's going to do this except me. But if you're making 2 trays, you also not only have to flip the pierogi, you have to switch the trays from the upper rack to the lower rack, you know, midway through, so they both get top of the oven time. I'm going to put the big boy here on top. I'm going to put the smaller guy just below. Now, with a lot of these tray bakes or sheet pan dinners that I've been doing, I find it's really fun to have an exciting topping. Sometimes I make a crispy, crunchy, fresh, easy salad with just 2 or 3 ingredients to put up on top. Sometimes I just chop up lots of herbs and make a gremolata kind of thing with zest and garlic. And sometimes I make a dressing. We are going to make a dressing while that's cooking up in the oven right after this.
Next, Rachel.
I mean, this is so good. So good.
Let Rachel's hush puppies do the talking at dinner time.
Come on now.
Then,
I love you. I got you. You're delicious. Always. Oh.
be a hit at your next party with Christina's strawberry shortcake truffles. Plus,
These expand, they expand.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
fix it before you're in a fix with these handy home inspector tips.
And this is something that anybody can do.
It's $10.
Anybody, $10.
And being a working mom can be a drag. Let Molly make it easier.
This is his third one. He just turned 5. He just had it.
What happened to him? The kid is out.
Next, Rachel.
You don't need to be a history buff to know the Pirates got one thing right. Treasure belongs in a chest. Hormel Black Label Bacon. Make it.
You know Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
Like how I customized this scarf.
Check out this backpack I made for Marco.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
This pepperoni was carefully placed by hand by a pizza maker at Papa John's. Just like this one, and that one over there. Ooh, and even these in the crust. Get yourself the new Epic Pepperoni Stuffed Crust Pizza, only at Papa John's.
I was built in Riverside, California.
I was crafted in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
I was made with pride in Hickory, North Carolina.
Miller Furniture has more American-made choices than any store in the St. Louis area. Buy American from Miller, and you're not just furnishing your home, you're furnishing American jobs.
USA!
There's a lot of pride in this store.
Why don't you stop talking and set your cute little tush down here on me?
Family-owned Miller Furniture.
You want to see my 8-way hand-tied springs?
I do not.
Earning up to $250 with a new Midland States Bank checking account is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Find out how at midlandsv.com/250 or stop by a branch near you. Midland States Bank.
You don't have to go far to feel worlds away in Indiana. Take a journey to French Lick to find the unexpected. You'll never forget the look on the kids' faces when they meet these beautiful creatures. And the whole family will be blown away by the fairy tale setting at French Lick Resort. Fancy, yet family friendly. You can stay close to home and still escape the ordinary. Visit French Lick in Indiana. Get in at visitindiana.com.
Why is Rodney Davis attacking Mary Miller's Christian faith? When Miller talked with Tony Perkins about the border, she noted the lessons of the Good Samaritan. Now Davis twists her words to attack her on immigration. Davis cut out.
The role of our government is to enforce our laws.
Davis should apologize. The fact is, Davis voted for amnesty, not Miller. Mary Miller, strong on the border, Trump endorsed. Conservative Outsider PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Okay, guys, it's time to make the dressing because everything in the oven looks awesome. They're puffed and great. I'm going to flip them around one more time just so you can see. Here's the flip. Okay, here's one kielbasa. And the other kielbasa. And I'm going to put the puffier one underneath now. And the less puffy one on top now. I like a crunchy topper or something surprising that goes up on top. Okay, so this is this one. I zested a lemon. I'm now going to squeeze cut side up into the bowl. And this is going to be the topper for the pierogi, pork or turkey. And we're going to add 3 good squirts. And remember, I'm making 2. That's why I'm squeezing 6 times, not 3. So we're going to mix together the lemon juice and the Dijon mustard. And then we're going to add some sour cream, about 1 cup if you're making 2 batches like I am. Okay. Or half a cup if you're only making 1 batch. And we just thin that out and spice it up. So now it's sweet, tangy, and spicy all together. Then we're going to add a little salt and pepper. I like white pepper in this and a little fine sea salt. Stir, stir, stir. Fine black pepper, of course, is fine. Get it? Fine is fine. And we put away all of our herbs ready to use. And we're just going to take some chive and really finely chop that. Oh, we're there. Okay, I'm not going to show you till after the break. I'm not going to show you. That's the tease. Bye-bye.
Hey, it's me, your vacation. So let's talk about live shows. This is not a live show. Not a live show, not alive at all. This is what I'm talking about. Music, energy, lights, whatever this person is doing. Let's go to Branson.
Ah, Mr. Big Shot Lawyer, didn't see that one coming.
Ryan, you've been boring me all day with your hockey stories, but did you know I was the wrestling champion of the 9th grade?
Ah, tell me more.
Well, in the finals, I pinned a big monster, and guess what? His name was Ryan, just like you.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't want to burst your bubble, but I won a world championship.
Ryan, you got a big head.
And a big cup.
We're celebrating 50 years of Popeye's Signature Chicken with a deal you'll love. Now for just $6.99, takes 50 years of crunchy, juicy chicken we've been serving since 1972. Get the 5-piece while you can for just $6.99.
Feeling sad because you have a leaky roof? Don't worry, be happy with the Happy Roof Company. They're a locally based contractor with an A+ BBB rating, specializing in energy smart roofing, siding, and gutters for residential and commercial projects. The Happy Roof Company.
I'm Susie Vreeland with iBuySTL, and I want to buy your house. I'll make you an as-is cash offer on your house within 24 hours. Whether it's a total fixer-upper or in perfect condition, iBuySTL.com is the easiest way to sell your house. When you sell to iBuySTL, there's no fees, no commissions, no banks, no repairs. Just go to iBuySTL.com for your free, no obligation cash offer 24 hours a day. That's iBuySTL.com.
Hey, it's me, your vacation. You know, that thing your kids are supposed to remember forever? Yeah, they're not going to forget this. This time, let's go to Branson, where there's shows, rides, racing. Remember, the better I look, the better you look. And we look good in Branson.
Whoever you are, whatever you love to do, life is full of choices. Your career is only one. No matter what you choose, make it meaningful. Find the career that fits you at Missouri Department of Mental Health.
Okay, guys, here's the big ta-da. Huffton Golden Pierogi. This is Maria's with the turkey, kielbasa. This is the non-turkey pork lover kielbasa. So let's put one into the tray, at least, from the tray bake. I'm gonna need tongs to help me on this. It's just too heavy. Now you can serve right from here. In fact, forget this. The whole point of this is we don't have to do dishes, right?
Just tried really hard. This is criminal in my mind. How is this not criminal?
Well, I don't know the criminality of it. Clearly, none of us are attorneys, and we would be better suited asking one what the actual criminality of these actions are. I think, first of all, what we're getting is details. And globally, I think we've all kind of known what's happened or what was going on around the time of all of this. But what this hearing has done is slowly but surely given us some details. Like, here are some exact details, and here are receipts of what was going on, who was doing what, and to what extent they were doing it. As for then now punishment, which I think is to me, it's going to be the most important thing. People, I don't know who, I don't know what they could prove as far as the president goes or the former president. I don't know if they could prove, here or with John Eastman or whatever, but there has to be repercussions beyond just a hearing happening and airing out all of this stuff that now we know. People have to be punished. They have to be punished so it isn't tried again. There's no way, if you believe in this democracy, there's no way it can go on if people do not suffer consequences and there is not deterrent for it happening again, or for people putting people in place who might help them do it more successfully the next time around. I think we all have to come to the agreement that there's just no way we can allow that to happen. And the first step in this, maybe the hearing is the first step, but the second and most important step is people of importance have to be punished for this.
Now, after the hearings yesterday, after things wrapped up, there were reporters that followed Ron Johnson to get his explanation for that text exchange. So what did you know? Did you know what it was? Who was involved? All of that. So here's what Ron Johnson had to say.
We called him up. He didn't want it, and we didn't do it. It's the story.
Why did you even offer it without vetting it?
We got handed an envelope that was supposed to go to the vice president. I didn't know. So we called out the vice president. He didn't want it. We didn't deliver it. It's not a story, guys. This is such a non-story.
Are you going to ask who got it?
When you had received the envelope? Pardon? Was that the first you had heard of it when you received the envelope? And do you remember who gave it to you?
Have no. It was a staff deal. I mean, it apparently had Michigan and Wisconsin. I had no hand in any of it. Some staff intern, said we got to, the vice president needs this or whatever. I wasn't involved. I don't know what they said, but somebody from the House delivered it to a staff member in my office, my chief of staff, called the vice president. Hey, we got this, and the vice president said, "Don't deliver it." We didn't.
Are you curious about the identity of this person? Are you curious about the identity of this person? Do you want to ask about it?
No, because there's no conspiracy here. This is a complete non-story, guys.
As we listen to that and Johnson saying we were handed this envelope, is there a possibility that Johnson and his staff, there is no culpability that lies with them, but it's someone else and they were an innocent middleman that was supposed to deliver this message? Or is it assumed that this originated somehow with Johnson and his contacts?
Well, it is possible that somebody gave it to them. Sure. But the chief of staff in texting Mike Pence's guy says it's an alternate slate of electors. They knew what it was.
Right.
Ron Johnson is saying he didn't know what it was. So is that plausible?
Maybe, but unlikely.
I wouldn't think so. But again, you never know.
It's possible.
I'm not trying to convict anybody. But what was interesting to me about that explanation, it starts off with a we, then it moves to a staffer, and then it moves to a staff intern. Like every time he referred to the person or the exchange, the people got less and less important every time he referred to it. But also, would you want your chief of staff to offer something up to the vice president while an election is being certified that you don't know what it is?
I don't. If it's
and
me,
again, they knew what it was because it's mentioned in the text exchange. They knew it was an alternate slate of electors.
If it's me, and that's my position, I can't have a guy like that working for me. I can't. Because I can't be a party to it. Because if I am, I'm putting myself at jeopardy.
And
I'm putting my own
on-
career at
Later on,
risk.
he was asked, "Is he still your chief of staff or something like that?" He didn't answer any of that.
Right.
But let me pose the last part to you guys, because we heard the explanation. At first, what his is basically saying, I didn't know what was in the envelope. Okay, possible. Maybe not plausible, but certainly possible. I didn't know it, but when we called them, they said no, end of story, no big deal. And then he was asked at the very end, don't you want to know who tried to pass that information through you to the vice president? Because again, the message that was sent by Johnson's chief of staff said Johnson needs to hand something to V. POTUS. This wasn't, hey, something was given to us that they asked if we would pass it along. This is saying my guy, quote unquote, needs to hand something to the vice president at 12:37 p.m. on January 6th. Yeah. So again, even if we assume that nobody in Johnson's office knew anything was wrong with it, you're asked that question at the end. Wouldn't you want to know who tried to use you to deliver that to the vice president on that day?
I'm deeply incredulous that Johnson has no curiosity regarding the source, because if someone delivered a box of donuts to Wheeler and I didn't know who the donuts were from, wouldn't you be like, man, who sent Wheels these donuts?
I probably wouldn't investigate, but I would want to know.
You would want to know.
So
I'd
I
be
could
like,
thank
oh, wow,
them.
that was nice. How can you not have any interest in who came up with this alternate electorate?
Especially if you believe in the institution of office dynamics. You know, you should want to know where the donuts
Not to mention,
came
these
from.
are powerful people. I don't think they're ignoring details.
They better not be.
Did you hear what they were talking about on the Dave Glover show?
This is possibly a perfect song.
Give me back that filet-o-fish. Give me that fish.
I love that song. I don't know if you know that.
It's a
I'm
great.
serious.
The middle eight. The middle eight. Come on. The bridge in the McDonald's filet-o-fish song.
I used to send that to somebody every first day of Lent, and once you hear it, it's stuck in your head like all day.
Give me that fish.
The Dave Glover Show. Weekdays at 2 on KMOX.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Roger, tell us about your experience working with 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
We just had a very fine experience with the work that 3-Day Kitchen and Bath had done on our home. They had taken out walls and put in a new kitchen and a new bath, and did it in an extremely timely manner with some of the finest workers that we've been associated with. Easy to work with. They did what we asked them to do. And each of the subs that they had, whether it was putting in the bath, the shower stalls, and they came in a timely manner. The plumber was here on time. The electricians were here when they said they would be here, and things just worked out really well for us. And I've done it myself, and it'll probably take me 2 years.
It's about time.
3 days or less.
At 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
What are you reading?
About Gary Rabine, the Republican candidate for governor. I really like him.
What about those other guys spending all that money on TV?
If their ads indicate how they'll run Illinois, forget them. Gary Rabine cares about the real issues: crime, corruption, the culture war, and taxes.
I'm Gary Rabine. I can and will beat Pritzker. Let's turn Illinois around. It's Rabine time.
Paid for by Rabine for governor.
At 10:30, we have sunny skies and 84 degrees downtown at the Arch. It feels like 88. I'm Carol Daniel. The victim of this morning's fatal accident on I-44 at Antire has been identified as a 21-year-old Villa Ridge man. Investigators say Noah Goodwin was running across the eastbound lanes when he was hit by a tractor trailer that had run into his pickup, which was stopped in the roadway. The semi then overturned. President Biden preparing to call on Congress to suspend the federal gas and diesel taxes for 3 months. Administration officials say Biden wants to suspend the 18.4 cents a gallon tax on gas and 24.4 cents a gallon on diesel fuel. Well, gas prices continue to be elevated, but why? Patrick DeHaan, an analyst with Gas Buddy, explains.
Gasoline supply still
about 25.5 million barrels, or 10.5% lower than a year ago.
He says boycotting gas stations on certain days, as has been trending on social media, just doesn't work. The nation about to get a huge new shipment of baby formula. The administration has announced it's providing logistical support to import the equivalent of about 16 million 8-ounce baby formula bottles from Mexico starting this weekend. MoDOT will temporarily close New Florissant Road between Dunn Road and Pershaw Road directly under 270 from 8 p.m. this Friday through Saturday morning at 8. The closure is for paving operations for the new overpass at 270 over New Florissant Road. Let's check the commute. There's a stalled vehicle westbound 70 at Grand. It's on the right shoulder. Another stalled eastbound 70 at 270. That also on the right shoulder. And the KMOX forecast, partly sunny, not as hot this afternoon. Look for a high of 69, mostly sunny and seasonably hot. I should say high of 90. The low is 69. Look for a high tomorrow of 90 degrees. It will be seasonably hot tomorrow with mostly sunny skies. Right now, we have sunny skies downtown at the Arch. Right now, we are looking at 88 degrees. It feels like 90 downtown at the Arch.
A bad team facing a good team is never completely out of it.
Nick Costos, co-host of You Better You Bet, 3 to 7 p.m. Eastern on the BetQL network.
There's 162 games in the season. The best teams are going to lose 60 plus times, and the worst teams are going to win 60 plus times. Each night is its own individual entity. That's what makes betting on the baseball regular season so much fun.
All the insight you need to bet smarter is at BetQL.com. And listen to You Better You Bet with Nick Costos and Ken Barkley, streaming weekdays from 3 to 7 p.m. Eastern on Odyssey.
For over 30 years, McKnight Place Assisted Living and Memory Care has been known for the highest standard of care and that personal attention they pay to their residents and the details that make their lives full and vibrant. You know, when I first walked into McKnight Place, I was really blown away by how warm and inviting it felt. There's something really special about it. It's a place that you could see yourself spending time in, where your loved one would be proud to live and call home, and a place where you and your family would look forward to visiting. Because in a lot of ways, when you move a loved one into a senior living community, the rest of the family moves too. You spend birthdays there and holidays and weekends, and you can know at McKnight Place, it feels like home. And the staff, they have such an incredible level of trust with the residents and their loved ones. Plus, ownership is local. That means the residents and their family members, well, they have access to the decision makers every single day because their offices are on site. You know, they have beautiful indoor and outdoor spaces, walking paths with lush gardens. So visit for yourself and tour McKnight Place. Call them today at 314-993-3333 or McKnightPlace.com. It's 1034.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
It's the best deal in town. Get up to 2 dozen donuts for $8.99 a dozen at Old Town Donuts in Cottleville and Florissant. To get your coupon, go to oldtowndonuts.com.
Driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Your garage door is the largest piece of moving equipment in your home. When it needs help, call the experts at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Their certified technicians repair all brands of doors and openers, and you can even schedule evening and weekend service. Just call 314-781-5200. And always look for the red ribbon. It's your assurance you've got the genuine, the original Overhead Door, the most trusted garage door company in St. Louis since 1926. For same-day service, schedule online at overheaddoorstlouis.com. 314-781-5200.
Find out what's happening with your Redbirds from the manager himself, Oliver Marmol. Sundays at 10:15 on Sports Open Line and Wednesday mornings at 9:50. The Ollie Marmol Show.
I'm excited for not only the club but for the fans. This is a special year for sure.
On KMOX.
All right, it's Wednesday on the show here on KMOX. Amy Marks, of course, Chris Ranji, Kevin Wheeler with you here. Got a little baseball talk coming up a little later on with John Rooney. Obviously, more breaking news on the day, too. But in the meantime, we got a cool thing. Ranj, I'm going to give you the floor because this is a great story that you found about the upcoming elections in November, and I would assume coming up in 2024 as well.
I know over the last several years, we've all been kind of concerned, if not just paying attention to interference in our election process and maybe how the country has been divided by in part outside forces. And Edward Isaac Dover is a journalist. He is a senior reporter for CNN. He's also been with the Atlantic and Politico in the past. He joins us now on KMOX. Good morning, Edward Isaac Dover. We appreciate you being with us.
It's great to be here.
All right, well, let's get to it because you just wrote a couple of days ago about security officials here, Homeland and national security officials with the U.S. who are concerned about the upcoming midterms and what Russia might do to continue to sow discontent. So what is the latest on it? Where are we at?
Well, so what this came from is, as you said, Homeland and national security officials gaming out where things could go from what they're watching. They are stressing this as hypothetical at the moment. They haven't seen it, but what they're looking at is an evolution and sophistication of Russian methods to undermine American democracy and turn Americans against each other. And a way that would be to have hackers go into local election offices all around the country, the county clerk, the state board of elections, whatever it may be, and hack in a way that they actually get caught, do it on purpose clumsily to get caught, and then have the attention to that be fed into their much now more extensive and sophisticated disinformation networks, so that it creates this sort of anger conspiracy feedback loop that undermines the faith and the integrity of our elections even more. And obviously, there's quite a bit of that going around.
You know, states, as we all know, run the elections, which is a protection against a centralized, somehow election fraud, right? It's a safeguard. But when it comes to Russian interference, how does having elections run by the individual states make it easier or harder for Russia to mess with the systems?
Well, and it's not just states, it's at a county level and city level. There are about 8,000 election authorities around the country. And we usually don't think about that because, each one reports its way up to the state level or city level if it's a mayor's race or whatever it may be. It rarely do we think about how each of these offices is there doing its work, and therefore is vulnerable, an opening just in itself. And so one of the examples that was raised to me is you could have Russian intelligence go and just get the voter registration records that are in one of the local offices and post them online. Now, that in itself is not affecting the results of the election, but I'm sure could see how if information like that was taken out of what was supposed to be a secure system and put out publicly, that it would lead to a lot of questions and a lot of anxiety about where things are. And when I talk to local election officials, for example, I talked to the election supervisor in one of the most competitive counties in Georgia, of course, one of the most competitive states these days, who said to me, "I'm not a whiz at these things. I'm doing the best that I can." She told me that she relies on her IT guy, is taking courses with the Georgia Secretary of State's office online to try to keep those things. But it's very hard for these local officials to be the safeguard against what could be a full-scale Russian intelligence operation.
Are we? I mean, should we just assume moving forward that this is always going to be happening, and that that the process needs to reflect that? Because I don't see any reason for it to stop. And in this case, we're talking about Russia, but any number of other entities with the know-how to do these things could easily do the same thing, right?
Well, one of the things that I drew on in this reporting is an intelligence assessment that was produced by the Department of Homeland Security looking at top threats to the homeland for 2022. And it singled out Russia, China, and Iran, and the things that they're doing. Of those three, the one that were most focused on the elections was Russia, because they have had efforts over the last almost 10 years to do this that have proven successful to one degree or another. So it does seem this is going to be an ongoing concern. We will see how it evolves and changes over the next couple of months and over the years ahead. But one of the tricky things is for American officials is now how much do you talk about that Russia is trying to attack us? Russia is trying to exacerbate and exploit our divisions, when even talking about it can seem like a political statement in itself.
So, what is Russia's end game here? Because we hear a lot the idea that they want to destabilize us. It's good for them. They like the idea of us turning on each other. What is really in it for them?
It's that. It's they want to undermine Americans' faith in America, Americans' faith in democracy, Americans' faith in each other. They want to basically knock America down a bunch of pegs in our own eyes and in the world's eyes by saying, look how many problems America is having. And look, they can't get along with themselves, and they say they have this great democracy and they can't even run it. It's all that stuff to undermine, denigrate America, to do what the term that military and intelligence officials use is asymmetric warfare. This is how they hurt this country, by doing things that don't require firing a single shot. And that the particular situation that we find ourselves in right now, of course, is that former President Trump has spent 2 years pushing these lies about the election being stolen, and a lot of his allies have supported that. And we see whether it's the riot at the Capitol or in all sorts of other ways, how that has affected the way a lot of people think about politics. And so Russia is looking to exploit and play off of all of that.
Yeah, it's in the piece that you write for CNN, you do note these specifics that while in 2016, a lot of the hacking was probing, looking for openings, and there was rudimentary disinformation campaigns, but they focused on what you said, racial divisions, disappointment in candidates losing, and now they could add in immigration, COVID-19 restrictions, and 2020 election conspiracies, all of these things that are tearing Americans apart. And the Russians are watching gleefully like their brilliant plan is working.
Yeah, and just to be clear, the feeding in more conspiracies or exploiting existing ones about COVID-19 and immigration and the 2020 election have already been part of what Russia is doing. And this would be to take that to the next stage of it. And again, if the goal here, which is how intelligence officials assess it, is to just make things worse for all of us, make us feel worse about everything and more at each other's throats, then when they see the opportunities of things that are already putting us on edge and are already putting us at each other's throats, then it creates more opportunities.
How do we fix it?
Well, it's a tricky thing, right? And I asked that question to intelligence officials, and part of the reason why people spoke to me about it is because what they're saying is that we have to start figuring out how to have a public conversation in this country about this happening that isn't just about, hey, this is good for Republicans, or hey, this is good for Democrats, or it's bad for Democrats, or for Joe Biden or Donald Trump or whatever, but that it is a question of how we talk about that. First of all, our elections are more secure than they've ever been, realistically. But at the same time, there are a lot of vulnerabilities, and there is definitely a lot of interest in exploiting those vulnerabilities and doing harmful things. And we need to all start having that be part of the way that we think about this in a real way.
And finally, just a quick close. I mean, does it mean that maybe more old school backup is the way to go? I know you mentioned in there that the Brennan Center for Justice noted that there were 93% of votes cast in 2020 were backed up on paper, which is more than it had been. Is it maybe just more of an emphasis, if not doing everything on paper, but making sure that there's a backup that's a hard copy?
Yeah, and I spoke to the election supervisor in Philadelphia, who obviously in Philadelphia they dealt with a lot of questions and conspiracies after the 2020 election. And she said to me, all of their systems are not connected to the internet. They make sure to have it all secure. There are all sorts of backups with that. But there is a need for more attention, more funding, more security measures to be taken. And it's also a question of how the federal government gets involved here without it seeming like Big Brother is coming in to run the elections. And the Homeland Security Department and others have been struggling with that too, because they don't want it to seem like they're overriding free speech things or anything like that. And I spoke with the former intelligence chief at Homeland Security Department. He left in April, so he's very much involved in these things. And he said that it's just very hard in this environment in Washington right now, where everything is politicized, to have a conversation about things that are about threats to the homeland that are not about a campaign or a candidate winning or losing.
Edward Isaac Dovere is with us from CNN. We thank you for your time. Great work. Really, really fascinating piece. Sure, it took a lot of time to put it all together. We'll look forward to some of your follow-up reporting on that and other things. But thanks so much for doing this. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
And again, you can find him on Twitter, by the way, at Isaac Dovere. That's Dovere.
It's pretty twisted and brilliant, isn't it? To be Russia and say, here's what we're going to do. We're going to hack a local system somewhere, hope it gets caught.
Right.
And then all the people who are already up in arms about the election process, thinking it's rigged or whatever, go, see, told you there's something wrong with it. It's just, it's absolutely twisted. That's how Russia sees it. And they're right.
The following is a commercial announcement.
There's nothing like hearing the songs you love on local radio with no subscriptions and no monthly fees. But there's a new bill in Congress that could stop the music. If passed, this bill would tax your local radio station simply to play the music you love. Text LOCAL to 52886 and ask Congress to support local radio stations. Help us keep you connected to the music, local news, weather, and traffic that you need each day. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Spark Co-working St. Louis is a new collaborative workspace located within the PwC Pennant Building in Ballpark Village. The Spark Co-working community supports the thriving St. Louis entrepreneurial ecosystem, where you can live, work, and watch the Cardinals play all within one district. The all-inclusive workspace includes furnished month-to-month offices and suites with stadium, city, and arch views, concierge mail service, nitro cold brew coffee on tap, and so much more. Call 314-278-5297 or visit spark-stl.com.
With Pedal the Cause, you can make a real difference in the fight against cancer. Ride your bike, grab a spot in the spin zone, volunteer, and join the celebration September 23rd through 25th. 100% of participant-raised funds support innovative cancer research at Siteman Cancer Center and Siteman Kids at St. Louis Children's Hospital. Together, we can create a world without cancer. Get started now at pedalthecause.org. That's pedalthecause.org.
Hi guys, are you struggling with erectile dysfunction and sick of the pills? Well, today, Wednesday, June 22nd, we're running a one-day special you won't want to miss out on. Pineview Medical Clinic uses the most powerful form of wave therapy. 60 studies now say this technology can get rid of your ED without pills. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED, call us now and you'll qualify for the assessment and ultrasound totally free. You'll also get a gift that produces powerful results in the bedroom. You're going to love that. And today only, we're offering 5 tune-up treatments to our patients free. This is our most lucrative offer ever, and it's only good today, Wednesday, June 22nd. It's worth $1,000, but call today and qualify totally free. 314-530-7777. That's 314-530-7777. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction. Call Pineview Medical Clinic now to qualify. This offer ends today. 314-530-7777.
Those who've built their own financial success know that moving forward requires not just the right tools, but an in-depth knowledge of how to use them. That's why Edelman Financial Engines gives you a dedicated wealth planner supported by a team of experts. We know a modern wealth planning relationship demands human insight powered by advanced technology. Our advice is tailor-made for your personal goals, and our investment management approach is based on Nobel Prize-winning research. We model more than 38,000 securities, so we can better stress test your portfolio through thousands of scenarios. See what we can build for you. Call 888-899-4450. That's 888-899-4450. Or visit efewealthplanners.com to get your complimentary financial plan. Edelman Financial Engines, built for those who built themselves.
Attention business owners. This is a public awareness message from the ThrottleNet cybersecurity team. The war against hackers and ransomware is underway. The only way to prevent the war from impacting your business is to speak with the ThrottleNet cybersecurity team immediately. You need to act now. The ThrottleNet cybersecurity team is prepared to protect you against cyber threats. Schedule a meeting right away by visiting throttlenet.com/cyberwar.
Tom Ackerman sees clearly thanks to Doctors Birdie and Mahotra. You can too. Go to youridoc.com today or call 314-966-5000.
Men suffering from ED or PE, Paramount Men's Medical Center is featuring RestoreWave, the latest in non-invasive ED treatment. You'll see results on your first visit or pay nothing. Call 314-720-8081. That's 314-720-8081.
When you discover a new favorite bottle of Cabernet or bourbon at Total Wine, you'll discover a whole lot more. So explore the wondrous selection and totally low prices at TotalWine.com, where you'll love what you find. Spirits not sold in Virginia and North Carolina. Drink responsibly, B21.
Community Living Incorporated is a local nonprofit organization on a mission to provide services and create opportunities for people with disabilities. See how you can get involved at communitylivingmo.org.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444.
This is the show.
The show continues on KMOX.
It's the show on KMOX. Chris Ranji, Amy Marks, of course, Kevin Wheeler with you here on a Wednesday.
Hey guys, guess what?
I don't know. Is this good?
It's not a joke.
Okay, go ahead.
I have not seen the new Top Gun yet. Me.
Oh.
Top Gun
because
was my favorite movie growing up. For Halloween twice, I was Kelly McGillis.
I got a question
You were
about
not
this.
Kelly McGillis. You were the character that she played in the movie.
That's true, yes.
That would be a little weird to be like, I'm this person.
Yeah, I got a question about this.
Sure.
So when you watch that version, right? Did
The
they
new one or the old one?
The old one.
Well, she didn't see the new one yet.
Yeah, the old one.
Yeah.
Did they? Whoever allowed you to see it, did they
Yes.
remove the part in the middle where
So-
they're at the
Smoochy Woochie?
the smoochy part? They removed right. You saw the G-rated version.
I saw the G-rated version,
course.
and it was super G-rated because this was back in the 80s. I was 5 when I saw it the first time, and my dad recorded it off the with the VHS. And you know how you'd try to stop it just before the commercial breaks so that you wouldn't get the commercials?
Yeah.
So it was already edited for TV, and then edited again by my dad. So it was pretty G-rated, the version I saw.
Have you
and then
seen
all the innuendo went over my head because I was 5.
Yeah. So you haven't seen the NC-17 version yet?
I have.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Okay.
And what's funny,
NC-17.
I don't know. It's not.
yeah,
Is it? First of all, is that still a rating?
I don't know.
I don't know the
Used to
R
be.
version, but they played Top Gun at the Forest Park movie night. And it was hilarious because there were a lot of families there. So then when the smoochy woochie happened, you heard a bunch of parents go, "Don't look, cover your eyes."
It's so like
I was
so
with
it was
adults.
on it was on TV the other day. I can't remember what network it was. And I remember because I used to love that movie. And so when it was on regular TV, I know that was like kind of edited out. Like they shortened that scene.
Yeah.
You didn't get to see all of it.
'Cause it's
And
a-
I was
it's-
curious,
yeah.
like, okay, it's 2022. What version are they showing now? Like, do they just have that old,
Right.
80s version of it? And no, they left the whole thing in now. And then you look at it and it's like, that's a whole lot tamer than I thought it was.
Are you still wait? Are you waiting for the edited version to see the new one?
No, I'm
Yeah, she
not.
is. Yeah, she is.
Wait for the TV cut.
No, I just have, for whatever reason, I haven't gone yet. I blame you guys and the show, and I had a marathon.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
our fault, of course.
Yeah.
I mean,
Amy-
I saw it,
I'm a big
and
finger
I didn't like
pointer.
the first one.
See, Kevin and I
Did
were
you see it, Ranj?
the new one. No,
Yeah.
no, not yet.
What's
You
wrong
guys
with
gave
you?
me all of the hell in the world, and now
well,
I'm
it's,
the only
it's
one.
because you went to see it, and now we're screwed.
and I will say there were
Huh?
there
Yeah.
were a few nights that
we
I
were all
thought
going to go together, and
Okay,
then
Ron
we lost
Johnson.
momentum.
I remember because Ron and I were pretty sad because Kevin decided to go with Susan
Yeah.
and not with us.
Yeah, God forbid I want to go on a date with my wife.
Well, and then Ron,
Instead of you dopes, I got to
Yeah.
see 4 hours a day anyway.
but then Ron and I said, "Why don't we go with you and Susan?"
You could have.
Well, you didn't
But you
invite
never
us.
said
figured-
no.
You did say
You
no.
never figured out how to do it.
Oh, you wanted us to.
It was
yeah,
a game.
just
I told
pop
you
in.
guys, if you can find where we are, I even sent you a picture.
In my defense, the few nights that I thought I'm going to go see the movie, it was sold out. You have to plan ahead to see
Mm-hmm.
the new Top Gun. Why are you looking at me like that, Kevin Wheeler?
I don't know. You guys just seem so psyched about it, and now you're like,
yeah, like excuse makers.
No, you
Yeah,
ruined.
exactly.
You ruined it.
I mean, let's be honest. You have time.
You ruined it.
You telling me you haven't watched any TV shows in that time that you could have spent?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Going and watching a movie?
I did.
So
Totally.
So what you're saying is you guys just did that to make me go see the thing.
So, and this is a thing, too, because Kevin and I...
You did the Russia thing. You played me.
I did. I totally played you. Kevin and
that's
I...
what we're doing. We're sowing... We're trying to sow
sowing doubt.
discord and division
you
among
made me think
ourselves.
it was my idea to do
Yeah,
that.
that's exactly what I did.
Dang, you guys.
So Kevin and I last week were talking about how we need to, let's talk about more of the pop culture stuff that we
Like the
really
big
enjoy,
TV shows.
the big things.
Yeah.
And then we realized we can't do this because Amy hasn't seen anything but Star Wars.
And the Mandalorian.
How are we going to do it? Anything Star Wars? See? We have to make Amy watch real TV now.
Oh, we're gonna try. We'll make sure we edit it for you.
This is America. You can't make me watch that.
Are you tired of exposing your retirement stock market risk? How would you like the potential to participate in credited interest from market index returns and limit the downside? Join me, Ben Coons, for the Retirement and Income Radio Show, heard here every Saturday at 3 p.m. on KMOX Radio. You can also call me now for your complimentary retirement and income book at 844-513-SAFE. That's 844-513-7233.
Americans are struggling, and in D.C., politicians do nothing. It's time for a fighter like Eric Schmidt. Biden's green energy policy punishing us at the pump. Eric Schmidt will fight back. Biden's big government spending sprees. Eric Schmidt will stand strong. Biden's failed agenda, driving up inflation. Eric Schmidt says no more. Fed up? Choose a fighter. Eric Schmidt, U.S. Senate. AFP Action paid for and is responsible for the content of this messaging. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. AFPAction.com.
Energy prices are at all-time high. If your air conditioners are working right now, here's what I tell all my customers. You guys are important to me. Truly important to me. Someday you will need a new furnace and air conditioner. You will. And if I lie to you now, you'll never call me. If I tell you the truth now, 10 years from now, you'll call me. You do not need to replace your air conditioner because the energy prices are so high. Do not think for a second that I could sell you a $20,000 or $15,000 air conditioner and it's in your best interest. It is truly not in your best interest. If your air conditioner breaks or it's broken, or if somebody says you need something, you need a new one, talk to them, then call me. Bart Inman. One easy number, Missouri and Illinois. Call the right number, call the right company. It's Bart Inman, 314, Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600. That's Bart Inman. That's 314-293-2600. Missouri and Illinois. You know how to do that, Andrew, with the Missouri and Illinois thing. Or BartInman.com. That's BartBinman.com.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The home of the Cardinals, KMOX. An Odyssey station.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee, structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 11 o'clock, we have sunny skies, 85 degrees. It feels like 89 downtown at the Arch. I'm Carol Daniel. The victim of this morning's fatal accident on Interstate 44 at Antire has been identified as a 21-year-old man from Villa Ridge. Investigators say Noah Goodwin was outside his father's pickup, which was in the right lane with a flat tire when it was rear-ended by a tractor trailer. He tried to run out of the way, but was hit by the truck, which then overturned. Goodwin's father, who was in the pickup, was seriously injured. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says a vote on new gun control legislation could happen by Friday. CBS's Scott McFarland has more from Capitol Hill.
The lead Republican negotiator in these gun control talks is Senator John Cornyn of Texas, who tells CBS News he was not dissuaded by the boos he heard at a GOP event in Houston Friday.
Those are obviously a very small fringe of the Republican primary voters.
Senators involved in the negotiations tell CBS News they are close to passage of this bill, what they characterize as the biggest gun control reform in 30 years, expanding background checks for gun buyers under 21 and helping states pass red flag laws through which courts can order guns seized from people deemed dangerous. Scott McFarland, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Republican U.S. Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri is an emphatic no on the new gun legislation. He says the bill was negotiated entirely behind closed doors and, quote, ignores the national crime wave and instead chips away at the fundamental rights, end quote. An update now on scooters in downtown St. Louis. Last week, KMOX's Maria Kina had exclusive details on Lime's new safety plan. This morning, St. Louis's public safety director is responding.
Scooters continue to be turned off in the downtown area.
Lime's Lee Foley tells KMOX the safety plan included implementing changes that the city is concerned about.
That number one concern was underage riding. And the number two concern within downtown was parking.
Public Safety Director Dan Isom tells KMOX he had a meeting with Lime yesterday morning.
We're going to go back, our team, and evaluate those changes and those recommendations to determine a path forward.
But Isom says he has not made a determination as yet, but once again stressed his main concern, public safety. Maria Kina, KMOX News.
It's 11:02. The St. Louis County Council passed a resolution honoring KMOX's Charlie Brennan on his retirement. Charlie stepped down last month, but it wasn't until Tuesday night that he could be presented with the lengthy proclamation.
Well, thank you, Councilman, and thank you, everybody. Thank you, everyone on the St. Louis County Council and everyone in attendance. But you weren't supposed to laugh in the middle of the proclamation.
The resolution was so packed with Charlie's contributions to the St. Louis region, it took the clerk a full 5 minutes to read it all. The First Mid-Bank and Trust Business Desk, a new report from the National Taxpayer Advocacy Group, says taxpayers are experiencing longer wait times on the phone, and there's an even bigger backlog of paper returns than there was a year ago. The report on taxpayer challenges is submitted twice a year to Congress. The latest edition comes a day after the IRS announced that it is on track to eliminate 2021 backlogs of tax returns. The Dow from Stifel at this hour down 27 points. Watch for a stall eastbound 70 past Florissant Road on the right shoulder, and westbound 70, there's a stall there as well at Grand Avenue. That too is on the right shoulder. The KMOX forecast sponsored by Farm and Home Supply for this afternoon, partly sunny, not as hot, but still humid. A spotty thunderstorms possible, the high near 90. Right now it's sunny 85. It feels like 89 downtown at the Arch. I'm Carol Daniel, KMOX News.
It's a huge savings weekend at Farm and Home Supply. Friday, June 24th through Sunday the 26th only. Save on in-store purchases. Plus on Saturday between 8 a.m. and 1 p.m., get a free $20 Farm and Home Supply gift card for every $100 pre-tax you spend. Visit farmandhomasupply.com.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than $4? 314-441-4444.
It's 11:04 on the show here on KMOX. Chris Ranji, Amy Marks, of course, Kevin Wheeler with you here. And, of course, it is a Wednesday. We'll get back to the January 6th hearings with more hearings coming up tomorrow. Yesterday was a pretty interesting and eventful day, and we've got Linda Kenyon from CBS to talk about a bit about what we learned yesterday. First of all, Linda, thank you for joining us. How are you today?
Very good. Thank you. Happy to be here.
We appreciate you. And you know, yesterday had a couple of interesting points, and we were discussing earlier the text exchange between staffers on the Ron Johnson staff and the vice president's staff during all of the events of January 6th about the quote-unquote alternate slate of electors. Was there anything aside from that, or maybe is that the thing that stood out to you the most from what we heard yesterday?
Well, that did stand out. And, people on Capitol Hill today have been trying to get Senator Ron Johnson to comment on that. At first, he would not comment at all. And then he said, well, that was just staff-to-staff conversation. It never reached my level. And that even at one point blamed it on an intern. So that's kind of considered, well, bad form up on Capitol Hill. But the other thing that struck me very much was the fact that there was testimony from very powerful testimony from all of the witnesses. But I would say in particular a statement from a woman who was a poll worker, election worker in Georgia, and her daughter, also an election worker, talked about their experience of being targeted by President Trump. And she said the president of the United States is supposed to represent all of the people of America, not target one. And described how much it had disrupted their lives. And this one, the mother in this case, an elderly woman, said she had to leave her home for 2 months because of threats she received, and the president basically singling them out because they were shown on video working on election night and counting ballots. And so that was a real stunner to say something like, that the president of the United States is not supposed to target individual citizens, but she said that he did in their case.
Yeah, Linda, there were a couple of moments like that seemed, is this bordering on criminality, whether it is the president targeting a citizen, if that's libel in some ways, or even the text message exchange with Ron Johnson and the alternate electorate. I don't know when it moves from being highly inappropriate to flirting with something that could have some legal implications.
Well, I will say that the Twitter sphere is awash in calls for a criminal prosecution for the president's behavior, the then President Trump. And of course we would expect that there would be that kind of response in social media, but ultimately it is really up to the Justice Department. This hearing, the reason they're having these open hearings is because while most of these people they have heard from in closed-door depositions, the American people have not seen what happened in the closed-door depositions, and they want the committee wants the American public to get some of the salient features, if you will, and that has been coming to light so far in these hearings. But the Attorney General runs the Justice Department that is independent of the White House. It is independent of Congress. But he has said, rest assured, I am watching these hearings very carefully, and so are the prosecutors in the Justice Department. And while they are conducting their own investigation, ultimately they will decide if there will be criminal charges filed. Now, will the committee refer or ask for criminal charges? That has become a matter of dispute among committee members themselves. First, we had the chairman of the committee saying it is not our job to do that. But then we had other members of the committee saying that they would possibly do that. But nonetheless, the purpose of these committee hearings, again, is so that the American public can learn what has happened and what the committee has learned.
Now, what do we expect to happen in the next hearing? We know there's probably going to be some video of people who were with Trump on the day of January 6th. It was either maybe it was even before or after, but there is some video we have not seen before. What exactly are we expecting to come next?
We're supposed to hear about the internal communications within the White House on what happened on January 6th, how they either persuaded him, the staff people persuaded him or dissuaded him from the actions that occurred on January 6th. So we'll get some inside scoop on those conversations. Again, in these hearings so far, we have seen some snippets of video from the closed door depositions, including from former first daughter Ivanka Trump. And so we expect that we will see more of that. But we have been basically watching the committee put together a painstaking case and presentation of all of the events that led up to the storming of the Capitol on January 6th and the aftermath as well. So we expect right now that tomorrow's hearing will be as interesting as many of the hearings we have heard from so far. And, I know I will be glued to it, even if, as a matter of assignment, but because I would be glued to it anyway, because, this is kind of in the blood. This is what I do.
Yeah, for sure. Linda Kenyon, CBS News reporter, is with us. Quick switch, changing gears, Linda. Obviously, another thing that's a topic of discussion nationwide is gas prices, inflation, those things. And I know that we've all been wanting some kind of action taken to try to help with those things. And we've had the proposal that we may go for a 3-month suspension of gas tax. One, do you think it's reasonable? Two, how much traction is that getting?
The president's going to make the official announcement on that in a couple of hours. I think it is a very strategic political move. But when it actually translates to what you pay at the pump, it may not make a whole lot of difference. The president is asking Congress to suspend the federal gas and diesel taxes. So that's about 18.4 cents a gallon on regular gasoline and 24.4 cents a gallon on diesel. What does that translate to? Well, that's about 3.6% at the pump. But here are the caveats. First of all, will this federal gas tax holiday that be passed along from the oil companies to the consumers? We have no guarantee of that. It's a nice idea, but we're going to have to see what happens, if you pardon the pun, when the rubber meets the road. The other is that this money from the federal gas tax is supposed to fund the federal highway fund. And that is the fund that has been so severely underfunded for so many years that the infrastructure bill was passed in Congress early in the Biden administration to help replenish that fund and to rebuild roads and bridges and other federal infrastructure. So again, this is only a 3-month suspension. Maybe it won't have that much of a big deal on the federal highway fund, but it certainly could. And also what would really be more helpful, quite frankly, is if states decided to as well remove their state gas taxes, because those tend to be higher than the federal government's. However, it varies from state to state. So we'll see what happens in this instance, but it is a political move that gives people a good feeling. But again, we don't know how much it's going to affect us in the pocketbook.
Yeah, and I saw the concerns from senators like Mitt Romney that it could hurt the highway fund. Have you seen other concerns from Washington that it may also be inflationary by nature?
Yeah, inflation is a fickle beast, and the Federal Reserve has been doing very much, trying very hard to deal with it. But, as gas prices go up, so do prices of everything else. So it would be logical to assume that if gas prices went down, then everything else would go down. But it doesn't necessarily work that way. A lot of it has to deal with the American psychology of spending. And when prices are up on expensive items, people do tend to sort of hoard items in order to protect themselves against further price hikes. So if the gas tax goes down, will more people be driving? Will people be consuming more gasoline? What will that do to, for example, the refinery capacity? And there's just so many issues that come into play here. And one of the issues, of course, is whether it will either fuel inflation or help tame inflation. It's, as I say, inflation is a fickle beast, and we just there's so many unknowns and so many contributing factors to it, and it's up to the Federal Reserve to try and get a handle on this. And I would say that right now, the worst job in Washington, D.C. would be the chairman of the Federal Reserve.
It sure does seem like the majority opinion right now is that this is not the best idea. We would all like some relief from the gas prices if we can get it, but this may not have that intended effect. What is the likelihood the White House backs off on this then?
I cannot imagine that that the White House would back off on this, because I think that the president thought long and hard about this before agreeing to, pull the trigger on it, and received all kinds of advice about whether he should or shouldn't do it. He knows that lowering the federal gas tax is politically popular. We saw it during the Obama administration, and it went over very, very well. And the president has a lot of concerns right now. He says inflation is his number one domestic concern. And of course, there's always the political optics of everything. So to back off would certainly be bad optics.
Linda, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your input. I don't want to say enjoy the hearings, but certainly we look forward to hearing your takes on them. Nobody's enjoying
Hey,
this.
we all love TV, Kevin.
Yeah, no, nobody's enjoying this, but obviously you mentioned it is fascinating. But thank you so much. We appreciate you, Linda.
Well, thank you. Have a great day.
That's Linda Kenyon from CBS News. And that was an awkward way to put it, right? Enjoy these hearings that are not fun to watch, but certainly providing a lot of storylines. I mean, they are. How would you describe it? Like intriguing, maybe the better way. Like they're not fun. I don't enjoy them, but every day there's something where you're like, huh.
Well, here's what I know. I would absolutely enjoy these hearings if it wasn't serious. Like if it was a thing that didn't actually matter to us in a significant way, I would say all of this is very entertaining. But knowing that it is serious, that it makes it not entertaining.
It actually makes it the opposite.
It does.
It does make it kind of infuriating. Yeah. Again, many thanks to Linda Kenyon for that. Stick around. The show continues. Chris Ranji, Amy Marks, of course, Kevin Wheeler. We're going to talk a little bit about police chases, but not the way that you think. Coming up next on KMOX.
For everything online, it's Odyssey.com. Download the Odyssey app and listen to The Dave Glover Show and all the news, talk, sports, and podcasts that move you. Odyssey, that's AUDACY.
Hi guys, are you struggling with erectile dysfunction and sick of the pills? Well, today, Wednesday, June 22nd, we're running a one-day special you won't want to miss out on. Pineview Medical Clinic uses the most powerful form of wave therapy. 60 studies now say this technology can get rid of your ED without pills. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED, call us now and you'll qualify for the assessment and ultrasound totally free. You'll also get a gift that produces powerful results in the bedroom. You're going to love that. And today only, we're offering 5 tune-up treatments to our patients free. This is our most lucrative offer ever, and it's only good today, Wednesday, June 22nd. It's worth $1,000, but call today and qualify totally free. 314-530-7777. That's 314-530-7777. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction. Call Pineview Medical Clinic now to qualify. This offer ends today. 314-530-7777.
Hi, this is Ken.
And Laurie Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families work toward their financial goals.
Join us Sundays at 9:30 a.m. for Your Retirement Highway.
Investment advisory services by individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Hey, St. Louis, I want to have an honest conversation about real estate. Never in modern history have we seen a market like this before, and most homes are receiving multiple offers, often well over asking. You can trust that when you hire us, we will market your home correctly and professionally while saving you money. I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty, and I've been a broker for over 18 years and have helped thousands of my clients navigate every type of market, including this one. Why pay more than $4? 314-441-4444.
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
If you're recently retired or nearing retirement, you've got your work cut out for you. Between soaring inflation, stock market volatility, and the threat of higher taxes, saving and investing alone won't be enough. Learn how you could overcome today's toughest retirement challenges in a one-night adult education class called Retirement 101. It's taught by a fiduciary advisor from Financial and Tax Architects, one of the largest advisory firms in St. Louis. The strategies discussed are best suited for people who have saved at least $300,000 for retirement. And if you call today, your tuition fee is waived. To register, call 314-626-8817. This is your opportunity to learn from decades of financial planning experience. Call 314-626-8817. 314-626-8817.
Hi, this is Steve Butts at the Crawford Butts Insurance Agency. This year marks our 60th anniversary serving our clients and friends, a tribute to our founder and my dad, Norbert Butts. As your local independent insurance agency, we've been proud to represent many fine carriers such as Safeco, Travelers, and Progressive. So please give us a call for all your insurance needs. 314-752-2500 or CrawfordButts.com.
Indoor plumbing, been around for decades, right? Well, when you have a problem with it, you need a plumber, and Beast Plumbing wants to be that plumber. I'll give you their contact information at the end of this, so get your phone ready so you can punch in their information. But when it comes to the flavor of the water that comes out of your tap, they have ways that they can improve that with different water filter systems, reverse osmosis systems. They are water treatment specialists at Beast Plumbing, and they can take care of that for you. Something simple like not enough water pressure coming out of your shower head, Beast Plumbing can take care of that too. And they've got another thing that's going on for the month of June. They've got $40 off all hose bibs. And a hose bib is a small faucet attachment on the outer wall of your home that gets you water to your backyard or to your driveway to wash your vehicle. No problem. Beast Plumbing's got that deal going. Get a hold of them as soon as you can by calling 314-698-1154 or beastplumbing.com. That's BEIS plumbing.com. Tell them Bo Matthews sent you to Beast Plumbing.
We go where you go. 1120 AM, 98.7 FM, KMOX.com.
11:21 on the show on KMOX. Chris Ranji, AB Mark Scores, Kevin Wheeler with you here on what is still a Wednesday morning, soon to be the afternoon.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so we've talked a lot about police pursuits in St. Louis and how with the car chases, they're dangerous for police officers, they're dangerous for bystanders, and they're just, for the most part, are not happening. And in Chicago, they have furthered police pursuit laws, but this involves police foot chases. So in Chicago, police officers will no longer be allowed to chase people on foot simply because they run away or they've committed minor offenses. So for a little bit of context here to set the table, this is just over a year after 2 foot pursuits in Chicago ended with officers shooting a 13-year-old boy, that was Adam Toledo, and a 22-year-old man, Anthony Alvarez. So Lori Lightfoot was very critical of the foot pursuits and said that they need to have an interim policy in Chicago until they found a permanent foot pursuit policy, which they've never had before. They've never had a permanent policy, and now they do. This was announced yesterday. Under this new policy, police officers can give chase. They can chase someone if they believe a person is committing or is about to commit a felony, a Class A misdemeanor, such as domestic battery, or a serious traffic offense that could risk injuring others, such as drunk driving or street racing. However, they cannot chase people if they suspect them of minor offenses, such as driving on a suspended license, drinking alcohol in public, parking violations. They also must call off a chase in a number of circumstances, including if a third party is injured and needs immediate medical attention, or if the officers realize that they don't know exactly where they are. For instance, if they're running in a chaotic situation and they're running through alleys or between houses, they have to stop. They also have to stop if they find themselves unable to communicate with other officers. It goes on, the different policies, such as, you can't provoke chases by pulling up in a squad car, jumping out of the car, and then trying to arrest anyone who runs away.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys make of this? Because we talk so much about pursuits, police pursuits. I had always envisioned vehicles, not foot pursuits.
I know it seems reasonable to me. I know the U.S. Department of Justice in 2017, I believe it was, either 17 or 18, they concluded that, especially in the city of Chicago, that there were too many unnecessary shootings of people by police officers, and that the city probably needed to do something about it. So this was about 5 years ago that happened. And that was the Department of Justice that said they probably needed to address it. And so they had that temporary measure. This seems to be just going off that recommendation. And I think what else might be important here is it's in a lot of ways protection for supervisors or for individual officers, that if they do, for whatever reason, end a pursuit, in the middle of a pursuit, they cannot be criticized or disciplined after the fact.
Right.
So it actually is some protection for them too.
Yeah, it's frustrating because we see what's classified as a minor offense, and we're seeing stores like CVS or Nordstrom hurting because you're allowed to run in, steal under $1,000. Now, this is San Francisco. I'm not sure what the number is in Chicago, but in cities like San Francisco, you can steal, anything under $1,000 is a minor offense, and you can't go after those people. And you have that feeling of lawlessness. And I understand why you're trying to be safe. That's the balance we have to walk. At the same time, my goodness, all these people running from the cops, like, stop running from police officers. We're having to accommodate people's behavior breaking the law as long as, as long as you're not murdering
I
someone.
wouldn't say it's accommodation. I say it's just, all right, what is the end game here? Clearly you don't want people to steal, but you don't want people to get hurt unnecessarily, right?
Sure.
Yes, don't steal. Please don't steal. I don't think you're ever going to stop that, but what is the proportional punishment for somebody that goes into a Walgreens and rips off a bunch of stuff and leaves? Is it he runs, police officer chases him, he gets a few blocks away, and for whatever reason, officer thinks he has a gun, shoots him in the back and kills him. And then in the end, we realize, oh, there is no weapon on this guy. So basically he just died because he went and stole a bunch of stuff from a Walgreens. Like that to me does not seem appropriate punishment. It seems like that person should be punished, but I would think killing the guy is not. And maybe it does help a city, for example, that has paid millions of dollars in lawsuits because of killings like that. Maybe it ultimately saves the city some money as well.
Sure.
Yeah, my first reaction was, this is stupid. Like, that was my initial reaction when I first read through the story. I'm like,
mine was too, and that's why I wanted to read more
right,
about it.
And my first reaction was, this is stupid. If you're running and you're being chased, how about we just make the rule, don't shoot people when they're running away from you? If somebody turns to face you, and makes an aggressive move. I can't. I've never been in that position. I wouldn't want to make a judgment there. But the first thing is, I don't see why we should just be like, okay, I understand the car chase because a lot of innocent people are getting hurt in those. In this case, my first reaction was that's stupid, and then I started reading what police officers were saying. I started reading what the police superintendent said, and he said this makes it safer for officers and for citizens. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to listen to that guy. He kind of probably knows what he's talking about.
They'd probably rather not have to chase you, to be honest. A police officer would rather not do that.
But you also don't know what you're going to run into.
Right.
And I agree. I just feel like the shop owner who can have
They have insurance.
Petty theft every day. What's to stop someone from going in, stealing something, and running
Cameras,
away?
and then go pick them up later.
The voices of your morning news.
I'm Debbie Monterey.
I'm Tom Ackerman.
Good morning. I'm Megan Lynch.
Weather.
AccuWeather meteorologist Dean DeVore.
Traffic.
I'm Roger Brand.
Sports.
I'm Tom Ackerman on the home of the Cardinals.
Your voices for morning news and information. And now,
I'm Carol Daniel.
And I'm Tom Ackerman with more news, interviews, and in-depth story analysis.
Expanded Total Information AM.
Total Information AM 5 till 8. Expanded Total Information AM 8 till 10 on 98.7 FM, 1120 AM, and streaming on the Odyssey app.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. I want to tell you about Bill Kaufman and his team at Banner Construction. Since 1993, my friends at Banner Construction have engineered their projects to go beyond the basic low-cost solutions. That's more than 25 years of experience. And now is the perfect time to call the experts at Banner Construction. They're ready to help. If you're looking for windows, you should know that Banner is a James Hardie Elite Preferred Contractor. James Hardie Fiber Cement siding has the rich look and feel of wood. And Banner's also a platinum-certified Pella window contractor. Those Pella windows are beautiful, and they come with a 30-year warranty. One of the safest investments you can make today is an exterior renovation to your home. And Banner homes have timeless beauty, striking curb appeal, and ultra-low maintenance. If you take pride in your home, trust it to the team of experts at Banner Construction. Banner has helped us 6 times on 2 different homes, 569-1050 and bannerconstruction.com.
Hey, it's Debbie Monterey with a question facing homeowners. Would you sell your current home if you found your dream home? Well, of course you would. And that's why you need to call Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty. Gloria has a program that eliminates the worry of selling your current home and having to find your next home with inventory being so low. Gloria is expert at finding listed and unlisted homes that match your specific criteria. Let Gloria know exactly what you're looking for, and she'll find your dream home in the neighborhood of your choice. Once Gloria finds a homeowner who may consider a sale but hasn't put it on the market yet, Gloria will inspect that home, set up a private no obligation showing, and negotiate on your behalf at no charge if you want to make an offer. If your offer is accepted, Gloria Lou will also help you sell your existing home. Learn more by calling Gloria Lou at 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or online at gloriahasthebuyers.com. That's gloriahasthebuyers.com.
At 11:30, we have sunny skies, 85 degrees. It feels like 90 downtown at the Arch. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell appearing before the Senate Banking Committee today. He reviewed the steps the Fed is taking to try and balance out the economy while combating rising inflation. He said since the COVID pandemic, the landscape of the economy has changed.
This is a different economy, different forces. The real question is, how long will this new set of forces be sustained? And we can't know that. But in the meantime, our job is to find price stability and maximum employment in this new economy.
He did caution that the Fed's interest rate hikes to slow down rampant inflation could trigger a recession. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz says he wants to discuss the outlines of a Marshall Plan for Ukraine with the leaders of the group of 7 countries at their upcoming summit. The Red Cross hoping you'll think about donating blood as we head toward another holiday weekend. They say during holiday weeks, blood and platelet donations typically drop about 21%, a big concern when donations are already down. And the invasive fish Asian carp has a new name. Illinois state officials and chefs in Chicago announcing the new name is Kobe. It is 11:31. There's a stalled vehicle southbound 55 at Germania Avenue. The right lane is closed. There could reopen in about 5 minutes. And an incident westbound 70 on the ramp from Florissant Road. And that could be cleared up in also about 5 minutes. The KMOX forecast for this afternoon, partly sunny, not as hot, but still humid. A spotty storm's possible, the high near 90 and overnight low of 69 with clear skies, but not quite as humid. It will still be warm tonight. Right now it is sunny, 85. It feels like 90 downtown at the Arch. I'm Carol Daniel, KMOX News.
Lerner and Lowe's legendary musical Camelot, an epic and royal tale of knights, forbidden love, and a dose of danger, with lush and memorable music through June 28th. For tickets, muni.org. Driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
What's more important than profit? At Easter Fence Deck and Renovations, our family name is, you, our customers and friends are. A job well done and doing what's right is more important than profit. Hi, I'm Chuck Easter. In business for over 60 years, we've not lost sight of the fact that a good name is more desirable than great riches. When the Easter name is on your fence, deck, or sunroom, you know it was done right with integrity, pride, and great care. Our focus is on you, not our bottom line. Call 314-892-8500 or easterfence.com.
Soaring inflation, rising interest rates, stock market volatility, and higher taxes. How will these unprecedented challenges impact you and your retirement? Find out in a one-night adult education class, Retirement 101. It's taught by a fiduciary advisor from Financial and Tax Architects, one of the largest advisory firms in St. Louis. In just 3 hours, you'll learn how to overcome the unprecedented challenges facing the next wave of retirees. The strategies discussed are best suited for people who have at least $300,000 for retirement. And if you call today, your tuition fee is waived. To register, call 314-626-8817. Learn from a fiduciary advisor with decades of financial planning experience. Register now by calling 314-626-8817. 314-626-8817.
Hey, it's Tom Ackerman. Join me Monday mornings at 9:50 for our new feature, 5 Minutes with Number 5. And you know who that is? Albert Pujols. 5 Minutes with Number 5. Mondays at 9:50 a.m. on the Voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
All right, it's the show on KMOX. AB Mark scores, Chris Ranji, Kevin Wheeler with you on a Wednesday. We got John Rooney joining us in an hour for our Redbird Report.
Guys, I'm something of a germaphobe, and public bathrooms gross me out. I'm very careful.
Ew.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Pretty good flush.
Wow.
It's a long one.
Well,
It is.
I got it all.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, public bathrooms gross me out. So when I saw the story in the New York Times, just looking at just how bad public restrooms are, of course I had to read it. I'm just going to read you a couple of lines from this story, and you tell me if you feel any different about public bathrooms. You guys strike me as not germaphobes.
What?
Have you met Chris Ranji? Have you met Ranji?
Wheeler at least.
I mean, yeah, I don't care.
I was kind of hoping that the pandemic would bring about a new custom where we just elbowed instead of shaking hands. Because every time I shake somebody's hand, I'm like, I gotta go wash my hand now. Every
you do
time.
wash your hands a lot.
Well, the reason I do that is because I saw a thing recently where a guy gave it the courtesy faucet turn in the bathroom and like for about a second, and I know he didn't actually wash, but he wanted me to think he did. I heard this and I thought, okay, well, I'm not shaking anybody's hand for the rest of the year.
Yeah, that's disgusting. All right, here we go. From the New York Times. Flushing the toilet disperses tiny microbes in an aerosolized plume, which
Yes.
can reach 5 feet into the air and remain suspended for an hour or more before settling on surrounding surfaces, aka a fecal Hiroshima is happening in the bathroom.
This is news to you?
No. Toilet seat covers also don't offer foolproof protection. They can be contaminated from previous toilet plumes and
I was going to say, this has a technical term. It's
and-
called a toilet plume.
Yeah.
stall occupants.
Can
Yeah.
I, this happens at home too, not just
Yes.
in public places.
And then
Yes.
people hang their toothbrushes above
That's
the
why
toilet.
you're not
or their towels. And by the way, it ain't just right above the toilet. It's anywhere in there.
You are not supposed to have your toothbrush exposed in your bathroom. It needs to be covered. So in the cabinet or have some sort of cover on top of the toothbrush because of what
Yeah.
Amy's talking about.
The toilet
The
plume.
plumes.
It's the toilet plume effect. The New York Times continues because of this and the use of hand dryers, which the woman said can spread germs from wet hands or nearby open trash cans as far as 10 feet.
Yeah.
Any surface in a public restroom, from the flush handles, the stall latches, the sink taps, and the exit doors, can be contaminated. And they said the most common route of infection from these bathrooms is termed the fecal oral route.
Gross. I do not use the air dryer in the bathroom.
Yeah.
I don't. I air dry like myself. I don't use the blow dryer because of that one thing, because it's sucking up air from the ground, which is probably gross. And then it's just blowing it onto your hand or from the garbage can nearby.
Are you serious?
I'm
Yeah.
100% serious. So like when I go to a ball game, all right, when I go to a ball game, if there aren't like actual paper towels, I don't dry my hands in the
You
bathroom.
just
I
kinda
walk up.
like-
Yep.
Yep. You
Yep.
kind of
I say
flick your hands
that's
like
right.
this.
That's right.
Yep.
I don't use that blow dryer.
You all are weird, man.
No, we're not.
You-
we
no,
just
you
we
are.
don't want poo on our hands.
You're overly obsessed with micro measurements, like these tiny. I mean, tell me how much is in there.
Enough to
No,
for
tell
the
me how
fecal
much.
There's enough.
oral.
There's enough that I know it's
contamination.
there.
Now here's some good
this
news.
has been true. Like these kinds of things have been true since toilets were invented.
Yeah.
It's not been damaging the human species.
People died at like 20.
Yeah,
from
people used to get
typhoid and
dysentery.
dysentery.
You couldn't. You ever played
Before
Oregon
toilets.
You ever played Oregon Trail?
Before toilets.
You ever played Oregon Trail, Kevin?
You guys, I'm telling you guys, man, you guys are
Some further-
over the top.
Or further information. Here's some good news. The doctor interviewed said sitting on a contaminated toilet seat and picking up a bit of virus or bacteria on your skin or backside won't necessarily make you sick because most pathogens aren't, quote, butt-borne diseases.
Ah, yeah.
First of all,
I knew that.
doctor's now my hero. He said butt-borne.
Oh, God.
But no, like we've known this forever.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. So we
That's why
take
it grosses me
precautions.
out.
Right.
You have to close the toilet seat like at home so that you don't get the toilet plume,
That's correct.
the plume effect.
Well done, Amy.
Thanks.
You
See? Amy-
just said in the story that doesn't even help, or it doesn't help. It,
No, no,
it
no.
doesn't prevent the spread of
lid.
such things.
The lid does.
No, it doesn't. It just said it. You just read the story. It said it did not. It does. Even closing the lid does
Oh,
not.
no. Wait a minute. That was toilet covers.
That's what the lid is.
No. I think she's
The
talking about like
toilet
those
seat
the
covers.
fuzzy the furry things that
Oh, you
people
mean
put
the
over the
paper stuff that people
Furry?
use?
No, not
What is that
the
you're talking
fur-
about?
Those are old
Oh,
school.
you're talking about the
paper.
paper that when
The
it's when
disposable
yeah
paper covers.
Yeah.
Because the toilet plume has hit the paper covers, and then you put the paper covers on the toilet. That's why, and I'm not even kidding you.
Yeah, I know what you're
pull
talking
the
about.
toilet paper off so you get a full rotation, throw that in the toilet,
That's
and
right.
then you line the toilet
That's right.
with fresh toilet paper.
Yep. I don't believe in waste, Kevin, but I will waste a
I-
toilet seat cover to get to the clean one.
And I never
Yep.
use the first rotation of the toilet paper. You got to throw
That-
that away.
Yes.
I can't believe
Yes.
I'm listening to this conversation.
Amy.
Like
Had a girl. First time I ever agreed with you.
You guys know
This is fantastic.
That's not normal.
No, it's totally no. Well, the rest of you are crazy.
Yeah.
No,
because you
the
like.
rest of us understand that those things are not actually a threat to our health.
Oh no, it's a threat. I know it's there.
Yeah. You see it in your head.
Yeah.
You're looking at
It's
that.
a threat to my mental health.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
So,
it really
so
scares me.
you know what? You're exactly. My message is this is a you thing. This is not an
Okay.
everyone else thing.
If you dropped something of yours on the floor of a
I
public
thought you were
bathroom,
going in a totally
yeah,
different
it's-
direction there.
Yeah, I'm Jerry Seinfelding, and it's going in the garbage.
so I dropped some cheap headphones. Like they weren't super expensive. It was like a cheap headphone MP3
Oh yeah,
player.
that's the
I
end of
dropped
those.
it on the floor
Yep.
and I just picked it up with a paper towel
Yep.
and threw it away.
That's right. Yep. There's just there's too much gross stuff
Yeah.
in a public
On the
bathroom.
floor?
There's a great. I don't really care for Dane Cook, the comedian, but he did have one really good joke that I liked, and it was: you ever notice when you go into a public bathroom, why is everything wet? Like the sink is wet, the counter is wet, the floor is wet, the entire bathroom is always wet. And he's got a point because people go in there, they don't treat it like their home. They're just, there's water and poo particles all over the place. You can never be too careful in a public restroom, Kevin.
Actually, you can because you guys are proving it right now that
No,
you're
man.
too careful.
Oh,
you
no.
couldn't.
I don't touch
clean-
anything.
You couldn't clean the headphones with a little bit of a disinfectant
No.
spray. You couldn't wash your hands after picking it up. All of that's too much.
Do you know, honest to God, my favorite, my
So if you
favorite thing
dropped
that
your-
happens?
If you dropped your phone on the floor today,
Uh-huh.
is your phone going in the garbage?
I would start crying. I would
Is it
stare
going
at
in
it.
the garbage?
No.
Well,
you
why
can't.
not?
Well, no,
Why
because I'm immediately going home and I'm going to disinfect it.
That's fine. Why wouldn't you do that with your headphones?
Because it's
It's
a
not
cost
worth it.
benefit. It's not worth it.
Exactly.
I
It's
would
not.
pay
It's not
$30.
worth the 2 cents of disinfectant spray.
The
I don't know,
risk.
man. After Amy brought up this story,
And by the way, all
I
that
might
time
be.
before you get home, you've got this dirty, nasty phone in your pocket.
No, it's on the floor of the car.
You have to carry it. It's in your hand.
No, but I'll carry it like this.
I have a story.
What?
I forgot it happened
You
here
guys are nuts,
a couple
man.
of years ago. So I had a pair of pants on, and the pants had like a cloth like belt, right? That went through the loopholes. And ladies' pants, and the cloth, unbeknownst to me, like a robe.
Yeah, well, yeah, I
Belt.
know what you're talking about. It touched the toilet.
It touched the toilet. Not only that, but it went in some of the water of the toilet.
Oh, yeah, so you just threw it away.
So
Or you tried to flush it.
what I did,
Don't do that.
No, I didn't try
No,
to
don't do
flush
that.
it, but thankfully there was an end of there was a dry end of the belt. So I was able to find some plastic bags from the kitchen, and I used the plastic bags to pull it out of like the dry part, and it came out of the toilet, and I didn't want it to drip anywhere, so then I put it in the plastic
Yep.
bag and I threw it away.
This all seems very normal to me.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
I'm telling you, you guys are insane.
Let me tell you a thing.
You guys are insane.
One of
Do you have
my
any idea how much in your entire life you have not followed those rules? Your entire childhood, you were doing all these other things. And you
Right,
were
and then I
fine.
learned.
And you were fine, though.
But then I learned. I used to eat dirt when I was a kid. I stopped doing that too.
I never sat on a naked toilet
Yeah, I never
seat.
did that either.
That
That's
was
just
disgusting.
absolutely disgusting. But one of the things that makes me the happiest when I'm in a public bathroom is when there is somebody else in there and they are on a 10 seconds behind me hand washing schedule. And so when I go to the faucet and I wash my hands, the faucet's on. I love when there's somebody waiting to use the sink so I don't have to touch the handle of the sink. And I go,
Oh, you don't use a paper towel to turn
yeah.
the handle?
But some bathrooms.
Seriously, you guys need. I'm not even being
No, no,
smart.
no.
You
Some
guys need to seek
bathrooms-
treatment.
No, some bathrooms
You guys
don't
are-
have
you guys are
paper towels.
nuts.
Oh no.
This is OCD.
If they don't have paper towels, I use the back of my least the back of my hand or like your pinky finger, like something that you would never pick anything up with. The back of it.
Seriously, I'm not even
That's
kidding.
correct.
You guys have that's OCD.
Well
That's
done,
nuts.
Amy. Amy's right.
I work with two goofballs.
No, you're spot on. You are spot
You
on
open
with
the
this.
door with your hand.
No, not always.
Always?
I always say, like, if I don't have paper towels, I'm going to grab the door and open it. Yes. Yes.
No.
And then I'm going to come give you a high five.
Have you almost fallen over trying to use your foot to open the door?
Yeah. And it's always in. You know what happens?
I feel like I'm
Like if I-
surrounded by crazy people.
If I use a gas station off the highway in like, I don't know, Elkhart, Illinois or something, and the gas station you can tell has never been cleaned ever,
Yeah.
I try to use my foot to open the door.
Yeah.
to leave.
I would rather in a bad situation go in the
So
woods
you know what you're
than a
doing
dirty
by doing
bathroom.
that, by
Yeah,
the way?
somebody who doesn't wash their
The
hands.
crap that you walked in is now on the door handle.
Well, that is not my
for
problem.
other people.
Well, the
and
good-
they don't know it because everybody else isn't a psycho like you.
Well, good news, Kevin. I don't have to shake that person's hand because I don't shake hands
So
anymore.
you're just completely inconsiderate of others.
Sure.
Okay, I know we gotta go, but this is along the same line. I am amazed, and I am amazed, and I find it horrifying how many people touch the bottom of their shoes.
Oh, yeah.
Why do they sit there
Oh.
and touch the bottom of their shoes?
You know what the worst is? When people are joking around, they take their shoe off and pretend it's a phone. Like, oh, hello, who's this on the other?
that?
So you're
I've
saying
seen it.
It's not a good idea that I put
I've
them on the
seen it.
kitchen table when I'm done with them?
No.
Oh my gosh.
I don't do that.
I am appalled at you.
I just wanted to see you look
You're
on
dis-
your face.
You're disgusting,
It's-
Kevin.
They don't go on the table. They go on the counter.
Ugh.
Oh,
My
oh my.
God, Kevin would though.
I might do it at your house since you're
You
so
can't come
inconsiderate
over.
of other people.
Oh,
Man, oh man. I did not know you guys were that nuts.
I didn't know you were gross.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
The following is a commercial announcement.
Your local radio stations are here for you. No subscriptions or monthly fees necessary. We're here to give you the news, weather, and traffic you need and the music you love. But if the foreign-owned record labels get their way, it could stop the music. They want Congress to force radio stations to pay them more money simply to play their music. Don't let radio go silent. Text LOCAL to 52886 and tell Congress to protect local radio stations. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Members of Children's Miracle Network hospitals treat more than 10 million children each year. Your local member hospital ensures that every child receives the best possible care. Show your support at cmnhospitals.org because kids can't wait. Visit cmnhospitals.org.
Men, if you suffer from erectile dysfunction or PE, you can call other clinics and hope for the best. Or you can experience the Paramount Men's Medical Center difference. Their licensed physicians offer treatments that have a 98% success rate, regardless of age or medical history. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Schwartz. If you're not the man you used to be in the bedroom, Paramount Men's Medical Center offers custom blended medications with personalized care. Even men who have diabetes, high blood pressure, or prostate issues are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer. And it's affordable.
Men, if Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down, schedule a private consultation to experience the Paramount Men's Medical Center difference. See results on your first visit guaranteed, where your consultation is free. Call 314-720-8081. 314-720-8081. That's 314-720-8081.
At Busey Bank, we're proud to connect communities through financial outreach and economic opportunity. Building a stronger, more vibrant community, Busey offers tools and resources to individuals, families, and business owners to achieve financial success. Building strong financial futures, one family, one street, one city at a time. Busey Bank, member FDIC.
Looking to sell your house without all the hassle and pricey repair costs? Great, because Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis loves buying fix-up homes in any condition, as is, no fees and no commissions. Call 314-782-8000, and Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis will give you a cash offer right now. no strings attached. We buy inherited houses, divorce houses, trashed houses, even those my tenant won't pay rent houses. Call Chris at 314-782-8000 and find out how easy it is to work with us. That's 314-782-8000. Do you think your home will be difficult to sell? Easy. Our team will provide you with personal guidance through our short and simple process to turn your house into a pile of gold. Just call Chris at 314-782-8000. 314-782-8000. That's 314-782-8000. And let Chris worry about everything.
Hey guys, Glover here for Svedka Vodka Soda. Go to the next level. Replace your go-to cocktail with Svedka Vodka Soda. Canned vodka cocktails made with real vodka, real juice, and sparkling water at 8% ABV. Visit Svedka.com today. Go responsibly.
Tom Ackerman sees clearly thanks to Doctors Birdie and Mahotra. You can too. Go to youreyedoc.com today or call 314-966-5000.
Did you know that the average family home takes on 40 pounds of dust per year? Call 314-474-2020 and ask for the DGS special and get $75 off any air duct cleaning packages. That's Zero-Res. Spell it backwards or forwards. It spells the same. ZeroResSTL.com.
The annual Swing for Kids golf tournament at Lake Forest Country Club is Monday, August 8th. Find out more information or register your team at communitylivingmo.org/golf.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than four? 314-441-4444. They're back.
Three best friends.
Yeah,
the three amigos.
Yeah. Kevin, Chris, and Amy. The show.
What is it? What's happened?
What's going on? What do you know?
What just happened?
What happened?
I need to know.
Trending now on the show.
All right, time for What's Trending. Amy Marks, Chris Ranji, Kevin Wheeler with you. And first thing that I see trending when I go to trending on my Twitter, hashtag Obi-Wan.
Oh.
Season finale.
Oh, is that tonight?
It must be. It's
I need
trending.
I got to get caught up in it. I think I'm like 3 episodes in. I keep starting an episode and then not finishing it.
I'm still behind on Boba Fett. I haven't even gotten through Boba Fett.
Oh, you are so far
I think
behind.
I've only seen 4 episodes of Boba Fett.
See, you haven't seen that. You didn't go and see Top Gun. All these things you allegedly like.
I do love them, but I don't watch a lot of things, you know?
Not even the things you like.
Not even the things I like.
You should do that.
Well,
if you like them.
I've got other things to do, you know? You've got a life
Nothing's
to
more
live.
important than the best TV shows that you like.
Well,
okay, that's not true.
Amy doesn't watch anything, though.
Well, she watches Obi-Wan. Well, she will.
I will,
She
eventually.
watches Boba Fett.
We have to just start convincing Amy that everything is Star Wars.
I'm
so
just
she'll
way
watch it.
behind because I did watch The Office, but I think I watched it maybe 5 years after it was off the
All
air.
right.
You know?
You're going to have to get caught up by the time The Mandalorian comes back.
Oh, gosh.
You
When
don't want
does-
to be behind
no,
on that. That
I don't wanna be
Mandalorian
behind.
is bad.
All right, I know we're doing trending, but this is on Twitter. We have Timothy Butler responding that he couldn't agree more on the first round of toilet paper, that first rotation.
Yes,
you got to get
because
rid
the
of
rest of it hasn't been touched.
Way to
that
go,
thin-
Timothy.
That thin layer of paper just stops everything cold.
And then he
Timothy
recommended-
also
Oh, yeah.
also agrees with me on the awful air dryers.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And he said we should get phone soap. It's
What?
a brand. I disinfect my phone a lot. A little
I do too.
Clorox
I got
wipes.
no problem with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I do that stuff too.
Yeah, a couple
Well, you
times a
probably
week.
really need to since, you know, you're all
Yeah.
grimy coming out of the
because
bathroom.
I'm normal.
I hate touching another person's phone.
I know.
I hate it.
Yes.
I hate
And
when
they-
somebody hands me a here.
Yep.
Look at this on my phone. Like, why don't you just hold it?
And you can see the grease marks on the screen.
Oh God, you people are gross.
You realize now I'm just going to come over and touch your phone all the time now.
That's why I'm just going to keep cleaning it more. Whatever. Sorry, I've got infinite amount of cleaner. A texter to 314 says, "Wheels, I don't know how you sit in a room
That's
with these
driver
two.
Joe.
That's driver Joe.
Joe,
And-
it's not that bad because I don't have to clean anything.
Yeah.
Just be around them. They'll do it.
I'll just say this: Kevin could do a whole lot worse than Amy and me. Right,
Yeah.
Amy?
Oh, sure.
Guess what's trending right now?
What?
The.
THE?
The. That's
What?
right. The
Wait.
word the
Mm-hmm.
is currently trending. You want to know why?
Yeah.
Well, the Ohio State University.
Oh, it's not the, it's the. If it's
Whatever.
not Ohio State.
The Ohio
There
State
you go.
University has
Yep.
successfully received a trademark on the word the.
Okay. I have so many questions
Is
about
it
this.
just when they all caps it?
I don't know. Maybe because
guys-
that's the way they've got it written.
Everybody stop what you're doing right now and go find a wiffle ball bat. The
I got
yellow
those.
wiffle ball bat.
I got those.
On the yellow wiffle ball bat, it says, Wiffle has trademarked the color yellow.
What?
Wiffle ball has
For-
trademarked the color yellow. It's on the
Oh.
bat. So how does the Ohio State trademark how does wiffle ball trademark the color yellow? I obviously do not understand trademarks.
So
no.
This story here.
I mean, I guess nobody else can use the color yellow in a commercial endeavor.
I don't know.
I knock a lot of cabs off the road.
Here's a story from NBC Columbus. The U.S. Patent and Trademark Office approved Ohio State's application by issuing a registration certificate. It allows Ohio State to control use of "the" on clothing, namely T-shirts, baseball caps, and hats. All of the foregoing being promoted, distributed, and sold through channels customary to the field of sports and collegiate athletics. So I guess no other university can use the word "the" if they wanted to.
They can't use all caps because every time they type it in this story, it's in quotes and it's capital T, capital H, capital E.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're the University of Michigan, you could have the University of Michigan. You just couldn't all caps it, which is also ridiculous, by the way.
Speaking of ridiculous, back in 2019, Ohio State went to court with a high school apparel company over its use of the letter O. Because they get to use the letter O.
The big O is this
Yeah.
Ohio State.
The Ohio State. Man, they think really highly of themselves.
You know,
That
I,
is-
I grew up near Ann Arbor. We used to call them, instead of the Ohio
Yeah.
State, we'd call them duh Ohio State
Okay.
University.
Oh, jeez. Why don't you ruin the story, Kevin?
Tired of the cookie cutter feel of some new home communities? Discover the uniqueness of Lombardo Homes at Inverness. Inverness features variable setbacks throughout the neighborhood to create a park-like setting along the streets, as well as trails with pocket parks, loads of common ground, and 4 lakes. Inverness features custom homes ranging from 1,700 to over 2,500 square feet, priced from the high 300s. Tour our decorated display within Inverness, located on the north side of Feisey Road, west of Bryan Road. For more information, visit lombardohomes.com.
Hello, this is Chad Clayman at ClaymanGroup.com, KLAMEN Group.com, where we buy houses direct. If you're thinking about selling, but you're not sure where you're going to go after you sign a contract with a buyer, if you sell to us, we can provide a flexible closing date for you. And once we've written a contract, we can actually adjust the closing date if you need to move it up or you need to move it back at any time. Find us at ClaymanGroup.com and simplify your sale by closing on your timeline. KLAMEN Group.com.
Why are some people afraid to enjoy their retirement? And why are some people so worried about spending money during their golden years? Maybe it's because they're afraid of running out of money. Maybe they're afraid of depleting their nest egg, either through spending too much or through investment strategies that could result in losses. Hi, my name is Ken Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. Do you have a fear of depleting your savings and running out of money too soon? Let me help put your mind at ease. I can help you create an optimal retirement income distribution strategy that helps to maximize income from your retirement savings and eliminate your fear of running out of money. Call 314-328-4400 today and schedule your complimentary retirement roadmap review with our team. That's 314-328-4400. Again, 314-328-4400.
Heisey Advisory Group provides insurance services. Investment advisory services offered through AE Wealth Management, LLC. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The legendary voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
An Odyssey station.
Hi guys, are you struggling with erectile dysfunction and sick of the pills? Well, today, Wednesday, June 22nd, we're running a one-day special you won't want to miss out on. Pineview Medical Clinic uses the most powerful form of wave therapy. 60 studies now say this technology can get rid of your ED without pills. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED, call us now and you'll qualify for the assessment and ultrasound totally free. You'll also get a gift that produces powerful results in the bedroom. You're going to love that. And today only, we're offering 5 tune-up treatments to our patients free. This is our most lucrative offer ever, and it's only good today, Wednesday, June 22nd. It's worth $1,000, but call today and qualify totally free. 314-530-7777. That's 314-530-7777. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction. Call Pineview Medical Clinic now to qualify. This offer ends today. 314-530-7777.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 12 o'clock, we have partly sunny skies, 87 degrees. It feels like 91 downtown at the Arch. I'm Carol Daniel. A man who had come to the aid of his father was the victim of this morning's fatal accident on Interstate 44 at Antire.
21-year-old Noah Goodwin of Villa Ridge had driven his motorcycle to help his father, whose pickup had a blowout in the interstate's right lane. Just before 5 o'clock, a tractor-trailer slammed into the pickup, pushing it aside. Noah tried to run out of the way, but was hit by the semi, which then overturned. His father, who was in the pickup, was seriously hurt. Brian Kelly, KMOX News.
The Georgia Supreme Court has overturned the murder conviction of a Georgia father sentenced to life in prison after leaving his 22-month-old son in a hot car.
6 Georgia Supreme Court justices overturned Ross Harris's conviction, ruling the piling on of evidence about his affairs and his sexting was irrelevant to the murder charges in Cooper's death. Justice Nels Peterson said in January,
"Proving that he is a terrible person is not the same thing as proving that he murdered his child."
The Cobb County District Attorney plans to file a motion for reconsideration. University of Georgia law professor Ron Carlson.
This bombshell decision does not mean Ross Harris will hit the bricks anytime soon. He still must serve a stiff sentence on his conviction for dallying with a minor.
Veronica Waters for CBS News, Atlanta.
COVID-19 vaccines now available for children aged 5 and under. Parents are lining up to get their kids vaccinated. Others are not rushing to get it. WCBS TV's Elijah Westbrook has more from New York City.
2-year-old Kara Bookman is one of the city's first little ones to get a COVID-19 vaccine. We caught up with she and her dad, Max, as soon as this Times Square vaccination site opened today.
We feel like the world has really left us behind, parents of children who are under 5.
The milestone in vaccinating young children comes as the FDA approved the Pfizer and Moderna shots last week for kids under 5. Despite the data, everyone is not on board with vaccinating their young child.
Too young to be going through that, so no. Me myself, yeah, but I wouldn't give my daughter no vaccine.
Research published earlier this year shows that roughly 3 out of 4 children carry antibodies, showing that they have previously been infected with the coronavirus. President Biden preparing to call on Congress to suspend the federal gas and diesel taxes for 3 months, meant to ease financial pressures at the pump as voters are concerned about gas prices and inflation in an election year. Many lawmakers are skeptical. Prices average about $5 a gallon nationwide. Missouri Senate Majority Leader Caleb Rowden is calling on pro-life groups like Missouri Right to Life PAC to withdraw their endorsements of Eric Greitens. Eagle Forum PAC Monday called Greitens' video for hunting rhinos, or Republicans in name only, disturbing, and called for him to withdraw from the race. Eagle Forum called Greitens a crino, conservative Republican in name only. On Monday, Senator Rowden notified the Highway Patrol following a tweet directed at him, Governor Parson and other lawmakers saying they were coming for them. A vigil planned tonight in honor of those killed in a North County home explosion last Friday, the result of an illegal fireworks operation. The blast killed 3 teens and a young man. The vigil will be at 6 in the 6600 block of Parker at North Ranch, the scene of the explosion. The First Mid-Bank and Trust Business Desk, local nonprofit Dream Builders for Equity, received quite a gift today. Midwest Bank Center, the area's second largest locally owned community bank, is donating its North Broadway Bank branch to the organization. Dream Builders will use it for its headquarters for financial literacy classes, a summer academy training programs, and its chess program. The Dow from Stifel is up 31 points. There's a crash westbound 64 at Big Bend Boulevard. The right lane is closed. Another crash eastbound 270 before 367. The 3 right lanes are closed there. That could be out there for another half an hour. The forecast sponsored by STL Windows Direct for this afternoon. Partly sunny, not as hot, but still humid. A spotty storm's possible. The high near 90. Not quite as humid tonight. Clear skies. Overnight low of 69. Mostly sunny and seasonably hot tomorrow. The high 90. Right now it's 87. It feels like 91 downtown at the Arch. I'm Carol Daniel, KMOX News.
Not all windows are created equal. See things more clearly with an STL Windows Direct window. Compare the difference at STLWindowsDirect.com. STLWindowsDirect.com.
STL Windows Direct.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444.
$12:05 on the show on KMOX. Chris Ranji, Amy Marks, Scores, and Kevin Wheeler with you here. Coming up in about a half an hour, just after the 12:30 news, we get our Redbird Report today, our regular Wednesday visit with John Rooney. So what were we talking about during the break there? Weenies?
Weenies. Not the kind of weenies you're talking about.
Yeah, not like the ones you can get at the ballpark.
Right. Which, by the way, I love a good ballpark weenie.
All right, before we move into this next story, you like hot dogs, right?
Love them.
How can you like something that you have no idea that's in it? But
It's
be
cooked. Because it's cooked, Kevin.
You got to be kidding me, dude.
No.
You're like, I won't touch anything anywhere in public, but I'll eat
Because-
that hot dog even though I have no idea what's in there.
You know, when we were at the game last week, were we there?
Yeah.
And we went by the hot dog stand, which I had never seen before, and you said, get the pastrami dog.
Yeah, from Cones, yeah.
I cannot wait.
It's so good.
We were on the way to go eat somewhere else.
Yeah.
We had a suite, no big deal. But man, I'm telling you that sounds amazing
It
because
is.
I love pastrami, and I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yep.
Pastrami dog.
It's the Cones deli cart.
I
They're
can't wait.
The best.
Did you
Cannot wait.
see when the hot dog filler truck crashed on the highway and spilled all the hot dog
Did you
filler?
see the pictures of that?
Oh yeah.
Pretty gross.
I think it's fake news.
But
Fake news like the pink sludge that supposedly was the chicken McNugget.
No, it was the burgers.
Fake news.
No, because it was gray sludge and they would pipe it in, right? Pipe the gray chicken sludge into the nuggets.
Oh, that stuff. They had a gray sludge and a pink sludge?
Well, I thought the gray sludge, maybe the pink sludge turned gray when you cook it.
No, it's just delicious sludge.
Opposite of shrimp.
Whatever it is. But yes, I'll eat a hot dog. I will eat
You
eat a
eat
hot
fast
dog.
food? You eat fast food?
Well, not regularly,
No, but
but
you
I
do.
love
Okay.
I love hot dogs.
Okay.
I don't have them very often. It's not like I'm not 6, so I'm not having a I'm not having a hot dog for lunch every day, but I will have a hot dog at the ballpark.
I love hot dogs.
We've been to
And
what?
again, you guys are
Those
really
are two
interesting.
totally different types of things, Kevin.
Yeah,
You're
you cook the
grossed
hot
out. You're
dog.
grossed out by very simple things.
I wouldn't eat a hot
but you're
dog in the
not-
bathroom.
But you're not grossed out
That's exactly
by
right.
by a food
Yeah.
that you have no idea what's in there.
Because it's cooked.
And it's not a toilet plume.
Yeah.
There's a huge difference between, oh, wow, I don't know what that ingredient is in those Doritos and fecal matter.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yes, I wouldn't say eat poop, but it's still the idea. Like you don't know what's in there.
No.
But you do, and you just don't know it.
I also will never take a drink into the bathroom. Like, so if you're at a bar,
Right.
never.
I put them on the counter.
Oh,
yeah,
my
absolutely.
gosh.
Yeah, never.
But bowling alleys are very gross. I have a hard time with bowling balls.
You guys.
Oh, because of the finger holes, they never get cleaned.
I know. Everything in a bowling alley is greasy.
Oh, well,
Ugh. Think of how you feel when you leave the bowling alley. You have to take a shower.
yeah. Every time I've left, no joke.
I've never not showered after going bowling.
Every time, I'm not kidding
I
you.
mean, every sentence you guys utter, I'm just sitting here like shaking my head. Like you guys are, you need help.
I don't think I've ever left a bowling alley and not said, "Why do we come here?"
I know.
Well,
Like,
that's
what
a
are we-
different thing. If you
Yeah.
don't enjoy bowling and I don't know, being friendly with your friends and hanging out and having fun. then-
Oh, I don't mind doing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they'll say, "You want to get a ball?" No.
No.
Do you want to rent shoes? No, I don't.
Oh, and the shoes.
The shoe thing is ridiculous.
Do you know how much fungus is in those shoes
Oh,
and
God.
sweat?
Oh,
Oh,
years of it.
oh.
Think about the shoestrings themselves. The bowling shoestrings. You ever seen them? They're
And
never
the-
white.
And the worst part is they have to make bowling shoes look like bowling shoes so people don't steal them.
No, that's not the worst part.
What is
But
the
you-
worst part? It's the germs. So now
no,
you're saying
usually it's because they don't fit very well, and sometimes you get little.
that's why you don't like
blisters on your
bowling
feet.
shoes?
I just don't care. I have never gotten sick from bowling shoes. I have never gotten fungus from bowling shoes. I'm 50 years old. All of these things you're scared of have never happened to me.
Oh, God.
Ever.
I would never wear bowling shoes in public. They just don't fit right.
I know this is now going down a road that's boring everybody, but I
Yeah.
mean, walking into a hotel room, there's a whole routine. You check under the bed, you get the comforter off the bed, you disinfect the TV
How about
remote control.
like the Missouri?
What are you looking for under the bed?
Bed bugs. I'm so afraid of bed
You
bugs.
take a magnifying glass?
You can see them?
Yeah, you look in the corners, you lift up and you pull under the sheet.
Oh, you said, I thought you meant like on the floor
no,
under the
no,
bed.
no, the bed itself.
Yeah,
Under
you
the
gotta be-
mattress.
The mattress.
Right. Because if you get bed bugs, you got to burn it. You got to burn everything. There's no cleaning it. You got to burn it.
What kind of hotels are you staying at?
The hotel the Missouri State baseball team stayed in.
Well, that was pretty
in-
horrible. But if you walk into one like that, that's totally justified. If you walk into a normal, clean hotel room and you're like, "This, I got to double check
Kevin,
everything."
if I'm staying at the Four
problem.
Seasons, I check the bed.
That's a you problem. That's
So,
not a hotel problem.
This was a College World Series thing, and I don't think we ever talked about it, but the Missouri State baseball team.
It wasn't the World Series; it was the postseason. But yeah,
whatever. They take photos of the hotel they were in, and it was just absolute
bad.
trash.
Yeah.
And my favorite part was that one of the rooms there were just underwear, like random underwear on the floor. Like it had obviously the room had not been cleaned if somebody else's underwear was just hanging out there.
Ugh.
Like I've seen some gross
Okay,
stuff
again,
in a hotel.
If you walk into a hotel room that has those kinds of things, you're totally justified in like, number one, I need to be in a different room. And or in a different hotel entirely. Like,
Kevin?
Totally normal. That's not a weird behavior. If you're walking into a perfectly clean room that is very clearly been maintained and taken care of, and you're like doing the discount double check, that's a you thing.
If I walked into a hotel room and it looked anything like what the Missouri State baseball team had to deal with, I'm not making it out of the room because I'm having a grabber. I am having a cardiac event in the room and I am dead.
I didn't know what a
I'm
grabber just- was. I'm like,
You ever heard of a
should
grabber?
you be talking about that on the air?
Oh. Dave,
Like,
you never
what
heard
are
of a grabber? Wait, hey, a grabber?
Never.
You know why it's called a grabber?
I have never.
You grab
ever
your
heard
chest.
that.
It's a grabber.
There are other meanings of that too.
No, it's I think everybody listening knows that a grabber means a heart attack.
I mean, I just Googled grabber and heart attack is nowhere.
Oh.
It's just a tool for picking things up off the ground.
No, you're having a grabber. Uh-oh. That's a grabber.
Never heard of that before.
Tyler, you ever heard of a grabber? No. No,
Okay,
he hasn't heard of a grabber either.
There is that is a thing.
Told you.
It is a thing, but nobody says it.
You know what I think I do that's
Just
super
you.
risky?
Just me.
I will occasionally eat at a salad bar, like in the grocery store.
You know what? I do that all the time.
And it kind of scares me though,
Yeah.
because you know the handle, especially when it's like olives or something that has water or liquid in
Right.
the bottom, you know the handle has been dropped into the olives and someone with their grimy
Yeah.
hands has reached in and
I
pulled
always-
the spoon out of the olive container.
Actually, I'm not going to give you my trick because I don't want anybody else to know. Because then other people will do it.
What is it? Tell me.
You always reach for the stuff in the back.
Oh, I do
Never
that.
get no,
I
anything in
never
the
pull
front.
anything from the front.
Right. In the front of the tray. Hey, you are all healthier now because Amy and I are part of your lives. You are welcome, Kevin,
Kevin
Dave.
looks offended.
I'm not offended. I'm really confused.
No, you shouldn't be
Like,
confused.
what happened to you guys to make you this way?
Knowledge. We learned about
You
germs.
should try it sometime.
I mean,
Kevin.
like the entire species has evolved in terrible conditions over time, and somehow we're all still here. But you guys are like, nope, can't touch that dirty thing.
Literally,
Right.
people died at 20.
It's dirty.
Yeah, people
For
used
like
to die.
most of human history.
Not from grabbing something dirty.
There's a reason-
Well, that's literally
usually
the
it
number
was-
one reason people
There's a
die.
reason-
No, that was living with raw sewage, which is a totally
Nah.
different thing.
There's a reason Joan of Arc led an entire army at like 16 because she was going to be dead at 30, you know, if she lived her
20.
full life. Right. Middle age back then was like 15.
Right.
So we learned a lot, Kevin. And because of this, Amy and I are probably going to live to be 140.
No,
Well,
I'm gonna
she's
get hit.
going to. You're not.
No.
I'm almost
It's
done.
always the ones you don't want, you know, like Ron just gonna live a long
My
time.
God. What in the hell?
that came out wrong.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. No, I mean, like I'm gonna get hit by a bus on Skinker.
All right, so since we got sidetracked and we forgot why we were joking about the weenie, let's explain that in the next segment why that was
my
the
gosh,
conversation.
I forgot about the weenie.
Yeah.
Talk about Kevin's
You know,
weenie
they
next.
gotta, no.
Not that the weenie story.
The person who said it,
right,
and why they said
That's
it.
what I'm talking about.
That'll be next.
2 ways to listen to KMOX in your car. 98.7 in the city, 1120 AM further out. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
This is Corey from Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling, here to tell you about an organization that is near and dear to our company and one we've been proud to sponsor, Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Greater St. Louis Honor Flight flies World War II, Korea, and Vietnam War veterans to Washington, D.C. for free to see their memorials. Greater St. Louis Honor Flight is looking for you. If you know of a veteran, please sign them up for their honor flight, or if you'd like to lend your support, visit gslhonorflight.org. And for all things heating and cooling, visit aircomfortservice.com. That's aircomfortservice.com.
Tom Ackerman for Building Community with Busey Bank, a podcast series easily accessible at KMOX.com/community banking. With a focus on community banking, who better to join us than Sandy DeMond, Senior Vice President and Director of Community Banking at Busey. She joined Jeff Burgess and me to discuss Busey's financial literacy programs available to both students and adults. Listen to our June podcast, Building Community with Busey Bank, at KMOX.com/community banking.
Hi, this is Ken Newbold at Newbold Toyota. If you're worried about gas prices, Toyota has the most models of hybrid electrics in the industry. From the best-selling Camry to the best-selling RAV4, we've got it all. So come see us. That's Newbold Toyota in O'Fallon, Illinois, or newboldtoyota.com. You'll be sold on Newbold.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. If your home's important to you, check out my friends at Banner Construction. If you're looking for windows, you should know that Banner is a James Hardie Elite Preferred Contractor. James Hardie Fiber Cement Siding has the rich look and feel of wood. And Banner's also a Platinum Certified Pella Window Contractor. Those Pella windows are beautiful, and they come with a 30-year warranty. One of the safest investments you can make today is an exterior renovation to your home. And Banner homes have timeless beauty, striking curb appeal, and ultra-low maintenance. If you take pride in your home, trust it to the team of experts at Banner Construction. My friends at Banner have engineered their projects to go beyond the basic low-cost solutions. That's more than 25 years of experience. And now is the perfect time to plan for this important project and do what the Brennans do. Call on the experts at Banner. They're ready to help. Call 314-569-1050 or online, bannerconstruction.com.
Hi, this is Debbie Monterey for my trusted friend and realtor, Gloria Liu, with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria is the agent I've been recommending for years. If you are planning to sell your home in this crazy seller's market, you do not want to leave a single dollar on the table. You'll love working with Gloria. Gloria Liu will guarantee to sell your home at your agreed-to price and time frame, or she will buy it guaranteed in writing. Her secret? Well, Gloria has the buyers. Thousands of ready buyers looking for homes in your price range and in your neighborhood. Lawrence and Shelby sold their St. Louis home in just 3 days at $17,250 over asking price, with multiple offers when their previous agent produced 0 results. They chose Gloria over other agents, and they were thrilled with the results. You should call Gloria Liu today with any questions. 314-325-6888. 314-325-6888. It's Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Find her online at gloriahasthebuyers.com. gloriahasthebuyers.com.
Hi, guys. Are you struggling with erectile dysfunction and sick of the pills? Well, today, Wednesday, June 22nd, we're running a one-day special you won't want to miss out on. Pineview Medical Clinic uses the most powerful form of wave therapy. 60 studies now say this technology can get rid of your ED without pills. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED, call us now and you'll qualify for the assessment and ultrasound totally free. You'll also get a gift that produces powerful results in the bedroom. You're going to love that. And today only, we're offering 5 tune-up treatments to our patients free. This is our most lucrative offer ever, and it's only good today, Wednesday, June 22nd. It's worth $1,000, but call today and qualify totally free. 314-530-7777. That's 314-530-7777. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction. Call Pineview Medical Clinic now to qualify. This offer ends today. 314-530-7777.
The voice of St. Louis. News that matters to you. KMOX.
You know, I think that this is a stunt to show that he's a big, tough guy. I'll say this. He's a big weenie.
Chris Ranji, 80 Mark Scores, Kevin Wheeler with you on the show. That's Mark McCluskey talking about Eric Greitens and the Eric Greitens ad. And I don't know. I mean, first of all, it's kind of funny, right? I mean, that's funny on a lot of levels. Like, that's funny that, oh my God, a grown person running for Senate referred to an opponent as a weenie. Also, that guy is calling a former Navy SEAL a weenie. I mean, like, I will question Greitens for not having the guts to come on a radio show that won't just kiss his butt. Like, he won't return a phone call to our newsroom, and then he'll, and I think that's a different kind of thing. But I don't know that I would call somebody, and I would definitely not do that if we're talking about a Senate race. I probably would have done that in high school.
Yeah, or Will Ferrell
yeah.
would be interviewed in a movie, and he would say, he's a weenie. Right.
If you had shown us video 10 years ago of what all of this would look like now with the name calling, and we would have thought, no, that's just Idiocracy Part 2. That's just the sequel to the movie Idiocracy. There's no way we would have believed that important people, or allegedly important people, or people that want to be important would ever talk that way.
But I will say, I know he's a former Navy SEAL, and he's not affiliated with the Navy anymore, just former Navy.
Right.
I would still call him a weenie, because I think any man that ties up a woman in his basement and forces sex acts and then uses photos to blackmail her is not a good man. He's a weenie.
Well, I mean, I think it's more of a harsh term that I would use. I wouldn't go for the weenie thing. I would think, like, you're a criminal. Yeah, I mean, like, that's criminal.
Well, that's true.
I mean, when you've had to leave the governor's office because of allegations and other problems, and there have been problems since. I mean, there are ways to be a bad guy and to be, and I'm sure it's a coincidence. Everybody's just coming for you. You're not doing it. It's everyone else that's the problem, right? I mean, there are plenty of insults for a guy that has done those things.
Yeah, weenie's not strong enough.
But when you're also that particular person, McCluskey, you're the one calling someone else a weenie.
Can I just say, I was listening to the editor's podcast from the National Review, and Jim Garrity he ripped into Greitens for about a full 60 seconds. And he said that he brought up the whole hairdresser incident in detail and said, remember the good old days when that would be disqualifying for running for political office, much less the U.S. Senate? Because remember those good old days? He said that Eric Greitens, it should be nowhere near a Senate seat. He should not be anywhere walking down the street. And he goes, I wouldn't hire him to be the dog catcher, in our town. He is just a low life human. And it was really strong language.
Who was that on the podcast?
This was Jim Garrity from the National Review. And then Charles C.W.
Conservative.
Very conservative. Yes. And then Charles C.W. Cook, who is also conservative. I think he is like George Will, a low voltage atheist who also is a libertarian. Charles Cook said what struck him about the Eric Greitens commercial, the political ad, is that Charles Cook is pro Second Amendment. He has guns. He's generally pro Second Amendment. But generally, people who are pro Second Amendment, they often say they have the guns to protect themselves from the government. And he said, here in this Greitens ad, you have Eric Greitens using the power of the government with guns to enact no-knock warrants to kill citizens. Not exactly a libertarian.
But it was a joke.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you
forgot.
said that, because this entire time I didn't realize that Greitens was joking. Oh, thank you so much for that.
But I still can't get past, though. I mean, all of this is true. We've touched on the ad itself and all of that for days. I am still stunned, though, that we are in this time and this is the level of discourse.
Yeah.
Like, this is it. It's people doing gunplay in commercials to make it seem like, this is funny. Ha ha. We're going to hunt the people that disagree with us. Isn't that hilarious? And we've got the insults. I mean, we've had the insult thing now going for and I mean like the childish things. I'm not talking about this guy doesn't know what he's doing. That's an insult, but that's also an observation. It's a rational thing. And yeah, we goof around on a dumb radio show and say things. If I'm running for the Senate, I'm not calling my opponent a weenie.
Yeah.
I'm not coming up with some other dumb nickname based on what their name is, what their heritage is, whether they are the opposite party than me. I mean, we do all of these things. I mean, the two parties, the people that represent each side have horrific nicknames for each other. And we do this in a public forum like it's not third grade schoolyard nonsense.
Well, the idea that it doesn't feel like anything is disqualifying anymore,
Right.
unless maybe you were in
Oh,
prison.
hold on.
But
you,
I
you
feel
could rephrase that. You don't have to say it doesn't feel like. Nothing is disqualifying anymore.
I bet if you were in prison, you might get some write-in votes at least. Like there's nothing. You know, we talked about the Howard Dean thing. And and he was in a crowd, by the way, that was also screaming along with him, but the microphones didn't pick up the crowd, so it just sounded like he was losing his
it
mind.
was a weird moment.
It was
so
right.
weird.
It was
Right, but
very awkward. Like it was almost like Frank the Tank. Like we're going streaking in the quad, and then nobody follows him. It was kind of like that.
Yes, but I imagine that if you were there, it probably didn't come off as weird because everybody was apparently cheering with him. But that was disqualifying for him.
That was the end.
That was like, okay, we can't hire
You're
this
too
guy
unhinged.
because he's crazy, because he's yelling in excitement at a rally. It feels like 40 years ago that happened because now nothing
How many years ago
disqualifies
was that?
you.
But that was leading up to 2000, right?
Yeah, I know. It feels like forever.
I mean, it was a long time ago, but
it wasn't, or maybe it was like 2004 or something.
It was in
2000,
it was the
2004.
early 2000s. But regardless, it's not that long ago in terms of how the society is. But think about how rapidly this has turned. We can blame social media for making it get out there faster, right? I mean, we can blame we should be blaming ourselves because we allow it. We vote for people that act like children. We do it, then we do it ourselves, which is even more hilarious. And I'm fine with childish. I'm fine with being stupid and silly. Duh. I mean, like, what do? I've lived in the toy department my entire life, and I like to do goofy jokes and make use double entendres to make people laugh. Like, I'm childish. I'm not running for Senate.
I might vote for you, though.
I'm not running for president of the United States or governor.
Can you imagine a more belligerent president?
Oh my God.
Then Kevin?
Yeah.
You think was a big deal?
I would not want to have a beer with Kevin.
I would be the most swearingest president ever.
And I will say politics has always been ugly and toxic. Look at what the founding fathers, what they were hurling at each other. But here's the thing. Yes. And this, again, was in this discussion with political talking heads that politics is a substitute for war. That's what we say. We have campaigns and we use combat terminology. And they've always kind of done that. The difference is now this was so specific. This was hunting people within your own party who disagree with you. It took it to a next level that he may say it was a joke, but in this climate, so inappropriate.
Did you hear what they were talking about on the Dave Glover show?
This is possibly a perfect song.
Give me back that filet-o-fish. Give me that fish.
I love that song. I don't know if you know that.
It's a great.
I'm serious.
The middle eight? The middle eight? Come on. The bridge in the McDonald's filet-o-fish song?
I used to send that to somebody every first day of Lent. And once you hear it, it's stuck in your head like all day.
Give me that fish.
The Dave Glover Show. Weekdays at 2 on KMOX.
Chances are you're jamming in your car right now. And since Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance so you only pay for what you need, Limu and I are going to show you some safe car dance moves. Hit it. Everybody, check your blind spots real quick. Now hands on the wheel. Put them 10 and 2 and move your head like a bird do. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
You could unlock more cash than you realize from your home's equity with a cash out refinance today. In the last year, average home values have gone up nearly 20%. And with Rocket Mortgage, you could unlock thousands in less than 3 weeks. But you've got to act right now before rates go up. So when you're looking to unlock the cash in your home, Rocket can. Call 833-8ROCKET today or go to rocketmortgage.com to get started.
Rates current as of 12/12/21. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender license in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org. Number 3030. Call 800-490-1233 for disclosures and cost information.
This time of year, you might notice that the brick in your patio is going astray. Call Morelli. Hi, this is Charlie Brennan for Morelli Tuck Pointing, which has won every award possible in this industry, including the Better Business Bureau Torch Award, which is only given to companies with exceptional customer service. Morelli Tuck Pointing is the masonry specialist, serving St. Louis and beyond for 31 years. Morelli can do completely solid houses and buildings, spot pointing with color match, brick and stone repair, foundation repair, walkways, porches, patios, caulking, waterproofing solutions, and much more. Family owned and operated, and a lot of longtime employees that are like family. Call and request a free and quick estimate at 314-645-1387 or online at MorelliTuckPointing.com. And don't forget to check out their great reviews on the Google and Better Business Bureau websites. 314-645-1387 or MorelliTuckPointing.com.
At 12:30, we have sunny skies, 88 degrees. It feels like 92 downtown at the Arch. I'm Carol Daniel. The FDA is poised to order Juul to pull its hugely popular e-cigarettes from the marketplace. Matthew Myers is president of the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids.
No product more than Juul was responsible for igniting the youth e-cigarette epidemic. Today's decision is the most important step the administration has taken in reversing the number of our kids who become addicted to e-cigarettes.
He says 40% of young people who use e-cigarettes do so 20 or more days a month and believes that's a sure sign of addiction. The Biden administration announcing that it is providing logistical support to import the equivalent of about 16 million 8-ounce baby formula bottles from Mexico. That starts this weekend as part of efforts to ease nationwide supply shortages caused by the closure of the largest U.S. manufacturing plant. Well, the wait is over. Illinois Department of Natural Resources has unveiled the new name for Asian carp.
Drum roll, please. My name for Asian carp is Kopi. C-O-P-I.
Kopi. Making the announcement, chef and partner in 2 Chicago restaurants, Brian Jupiter, who says Kopi is short for copious. A stalled vehicle westbound 64 before Woods Mill Road. It's on the right shoulder, and watch for a stall eastbound 64 before McKnight Road. That is on the right shoulder as well. Another stall to report southbound 55 before Arsenal. That stalled vehicle on the right shoulder could be cleared out in about 5 minutes. The KMOX forecast for this afternoon, partly sunny, not as hot, but still that humidity sticking around. The spotty storms are possible this afternoon, the high near 90 right now. It's 88 degrees. It feels like 92 downtown at the Arch. I'm Carol Daniel, KMOX News.
Whether you're looking to fill low spots in your lawn, backfill that new retaining wall, or mulch your trees and flower beds, St. Louis Composting has the compost, soil, or mulch you need to help your plants and garden look its very best. Visit our website, stlcompost.com, for more information.
Driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Attention business owners. This is a public awareness message from the ThrottleNet cybersecurity team. The war against hackers and ransomware is underway. The only way to prevent the war from impacting your business is to speak with the ThrottleNet cybersecurity team immediately. You need to act now. The ThrottleNet cybersecurity team is prepared to protect you against cyber threats. Schedule a meeting right away by visiting throttlenet.com/cyberwar.
Looking to sell your house without all the hassle and pricey repair costs? Great! Because Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis loves buying fix-up homes in any condition, as is, no fees and no commissions. Call 314-782-8000, and Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis will give you a cash offer right now. No strings attached. We buy inherited houses, divorce houses, trashed houses, even those my tenant won't pay rent houses. Call Chris at 314-782-8000 and find out how easy it is to work with us. That's 314-782-8000. Do you think your home will be difficult to sell? Easy. Our team will provide you with personal guidance through our short and simple process to turn your house into a pile of gold. Just call Chris at 314-782-8000. 314-782-8000. That's 314-782-8000. And let Chris worry about everything.
KMOX is Cardinals Radio.
Tonight, it's the Cards and Brewers. Ameren pregame show 6:15. First pitch 7:10 on KMOX and streaming on KMOX.com. Now, the John Rooney Conversation on KMOX. Sponsored by Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. And if you're a Missourian, we're for you.
Great to be back with you on the show. Chris Ranji, Amy Marks, Scores, Kevin Wheeler, in our regular weekly visit during our Redbird Report with the voice of the Cardinals, John Rooney. John, thanks for jumping in. Had a heck of a fun game last night, especially for young Nolan Gorman put on a nice power display.
I thought all the rookies did a nice job last night, Kevin, and Gorman in particular with bookend singles for RBIs. And in the middle of his night, he hit 2 long home runs, one over 400 feet and one that was just under his only home run so far, under 400 feet at 396. So give or take, that's good enough.
He just missed that one.
Just missed it. Yeah.
You make a great point, John, about the kids because they have dealt with some injuries, right? I mean, Tyler O'Neill's on the injured list for the second straight time. Yachty is out, and various people have come and gone, and they had to demote Paul DeYoung. But in every opportunity, whether it's Brendan Donovan or obviously Juan Yepes, who stepped in big, we saw Nolan Gorman last night on the pitching side. Zach Thompson has been that guy. Andre Palante. They have really gotten big contributions from the farm system.
And really goes into development. It goes into making adjustments along the way just to get to the big leagues. I mean, Kevin, when you were in college, you saw a lot of great players that came together out of high school systems and made some really good college teams. And then a few of those guys got drafted. A few made it to the major leagues. Mm-hmm. But once you get here, you have to make adjustments. And these guys have made enough, I think, at the minor leagues to overcome one problem or another to be able to adjust here at the big league level, like Gorman just changing the way he's raising or lowering the front leg and the way he's making an approach to go to left field with some outside pitches. His last RBI was a hit to left field that was pretty impressive after watching those long shots and watching Donovan perform, watching Zach Thompson get his curveball over for strikes. The majority of his pitches happened to find the strike zone out of the curveball last night. Mm-hmm. So those are big, big steps to helping this Cardinal team compete. And looking at the standings, I'm looking at them right now. If the Cardinals and the Brewers don't do a little bit better outside of the division, then there will only be one team out of the Central Division in the postseason. And I could see this series between Milwaukee and St. Louis ending up 10-9 for the winner when it's all said and done. That's how even these two teams are. But both of them are going to have to do better outside of the division, or you're looking at 3 teams out of the West, 3 teams out of the East that will be in the mix for the wild cards.
Jack Flaherty with 3 innings of work, and he issued 5 walks, which you don't want to do. But in his second start back, how did you assess his outing last night?
Well, Chris, everything fell apart. That's what happened with Jack last night. His mechanics weren't right. He lost the grip on the breaking ball. He just didn't seem to be in sync. But the one good thing to come out of the 3 innings, he had a lot of traffic, but he only gave up the 2 runs. And it was nice to hear Craig Counsell on the postgame show saying a lot of the things that we seem to hear up in Boston from the Cardinals with men on base, just couldn't get the big hit. And that's what the Brewers couldn't do to go ahead and get the Flaherty. And the Cardinals were quite lucky they weren't down 5 or 6-2 by the time the 3 innings ended. But Jack made pitches to get out of trouble. And he said he will fix his problems, but it turned from trying to see what works and trying to fight through something to find some kind of combination to get batters out. He said he will fix that, and I'm sure he will going forward. But it's still a process coming back from the injury. There's no question about that.
John, it's the time of year where we're starting to talk about all-star appearances, and the starters are being voted upon now by fans, and people can go to MLB.com to cast their votes for their favorite Cardinals players. But relief pitchers are not voted on; they're chosen. And I can't think of a reliever that's been better this year than Ryan Helsley. I mean, he's only got 5 saves, right? I mean, he's not quote unquote a closer, but I mean, look at everything else. He's one of the 2 or 3 best relievers in the sport.
And Gallegos has been able to pick himself up from like the Alonso home run and come right back, and he can be dominating with his slider. He gave up probably about 9 or 1,000 feet and outs in one inning last night, but they were caught. They stayed in the park, and then the next inning he was a lot sharper. What we saw in Game 1 of the series, though, from Williams and Hader, Corbin Burns was terrific as a starter, and tip your hat to the pitching in that. But the Milwaukee Brewers got a dose last night of the Cardinal bullpen, and I see Zach Thompson getting an increased role the way he's pitched the last 2 times out. But to get to a Helsley or a Gallegos in a save situation, you really feel pretty good, or even in a setup role, and mix in Cabrera into that group. And the Cardinals are pretty good at the end of the game. You have to find some middle inning pitching to tighten things up until the Cardinals can get the starting rotation worked out. And then I think this team will take off from that standpoint, and then leave it up to an offense that can put some hits and runs together.
John, we talked yesterday about some of the first early voting for All-Star, and I know Kevin mentioned the pitching, but Paul Goldschmidt has a pretty comfortable lead for being the first base representative in that game. Do you see any other position players maybe making their way in?
Well, you have, that's round one, and phase two, you have the top two vote getters. So we'll see how it goes when we get to phase two. But Paul Goldschmidt has put himself into the MVP conversation. Mookie Betts, who is hurt, is definitely in that mix as well. And we have about 92 games left in the season. A long, long way to go. But Tommy Edman has played like an all-star. Will they get the votes to be a starter? I don't know. That's up to the fans. They have to get in there, vote early, vote often, as they can do. That's legal. And we have a number of other people like Helsley, who is pitching at an all-star level. And Brendan Donovan's just bursting onto the scene. Before he's done, I could see him being an all-star. And if Harrison Bader could just hit a little more consistently, I think he'd be in that conversation year to year, and hopefully he will be. But Paul Goldschmidt has just been sensational. And Arenado over at third base, he's always in the conversation for an all-star team. I could see Goldie, Arenado, and Edman being on the team, and perhaps Helsley in the bullpen.
John, you mentioned the story last night of Bob Uecker kind of giving a hard time to one of the assistants about, I think it was a media guide, if I remember right. It wasn't in the booth, and he needed it in the booth because he was trying to do some, historical statistics I think he needed. What is your favorite Bob Uecker story?
Well, it has to be the tuba by far. where he's catching fly balls with a tuba before a World Series game in '64, and they made sure that he didn't get into a game in that World Series after that incident, by the way.
Right.
As his manager didn't take kindly to that at all. So, but that's one of the great stories, and he's been on the Carson show probably more than anybody. And I asked him a couple of years ago, I guess it was in 19, the last visit in here, I spent a lot of time in the booth. And I said, why did Carson like you so much? And he, the winter before, had been in Omaha dedicating a theater in Johnny Carson's name. And Carson's nephew was emceeing. And he asked Carson's nephew the same question. Why did Johnny like me so much? And he said, simply because you didn't care. You didn't, give a blank about anything. And you come in here, you make him laugh. You're not pushing a book. You're not pushing a movie. I think when he was on the late night talk shows, they had to force Uke to talk about Major League when he was in there, but he didn't care. He was there to make him laugh. And that's the kind of comic relief that Carson needed sometimes to get through a show. And that's why he was on so much. And after the first show, Uke said that Carson leaned over to Ed McMahon. This guy really played.
Uke had that. I mean, obviously, his career has been so much beyond being a big leaguer, with being an actor on television shows, the Carson Show, obviously a great broadcaster. Every team, though, has somebody that has that role, right? I mean, every team has the guy that can make everybody laugh, that can loosen everybody up, or at least the good teams do.
They do, and I think that may be less and less as we move along with all the preparation that goes into a game right now. There has to be somebody. I mean, Lance Berkman was so good at handling a lot of that in 2011 and all, but Bob Uecker was a guy who could just bring everybody to tears at a moment's notice. And he wasn't being mean to the PR guy. He just saw a moment where he could take a bit and run with it. and he did, as he was so good so many times. But no, I just love being around Bob Uecker any chance I get, because he's going to throw a line at you that you won't forget.
I want to know, and I feel like you would be able to confirm this for me, but there's that famous, I guess it's a quote of his, when he was asked about how you catch a knuckleball, and his response allegedly was, "Well, you just go to the backstop and pick it up." Is that true?
Yeah, you pick it up when it stops rolling.
Yeah.
That's the best way to catch a knuckleball.
I've always wondered if that's an urban legend or if that's real, because I don't think I've ever heard him say it. I've never heard it come out of his mouth.
Well, I've read it that it came out of his mouth, so somebody heard it, and it sounds. I mean, it's pure euchre. That's
Perfect.
It. He was in St. Louis for the writers' dinner when they honored the '64 team, and he had some good lines at the writers' dinner. But the next night, he was honored by the press club with a national award. Bob Costas was there to introduce him. And he got up after the introduction and he said, St. Louis has always been, kind of place I like to be around. And, in fact, I met my wife here. Haven't seen her since. If anybody knows where she is or how she's doing, I'd be interested. She's sitting in the front row. He's always grabbing, things like that and just running with them. But he's so sharp and quick with a line. And I had to cut through a couple of lines yesterday before I could say hello.
That's the way to go. Well, John, we're looking forward to tonight. 7:10 first pitch, 6:15 for the start of the pregame show. You and Rick will get it around 7 o'clock. Looking forward to game 3 of this series with Adam Wainwright on the mound. We always appreciate it, John. You're the best.
Hey, looking forward to it. Enjoy the front row for the show, boys. Girls.
I must be in the front row. There you go. John Rooney. Voice of the Cardinals. That's fantastic. John's the best. And again, 7 o'clock tonight, 7:10 tonight for the first pitch. Adam Wainwright and Eric Lauer. And yes, Ranj, Euchre did say that.
Did you hear it?
I've not heard him say it out loud. I mean, I've seen it in print. Directly
I've seen it a lot. Yeah.
But directly attributed to him in a quote, not just somebody saying, I heard he said this one time.
Yeah. Like the Albert Einstein quote that's, what was it? What is the one that always gets attributed to him?
Don't believe everything you read on the internet.
Yeah, both of them.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're for the people of Missouri. We're for kayakers, trail hikers, wine tasters, cave divers, grocery baggers, car dealers, and the man who plays saxophone outside the coffee shop. We're for the 100,000 fans that taught the nation how to tailgate, and the Division II national champion mules. We're for cowboys, hipsters, lead singers, and everyone else who likes to wear tight jeans. We're for the guy in a camo hat at a Nelly concert. We're for Rolla engineers and weekend volunteers. Armed service members, you bet we're for you. We're for teachers, preachers, students, and singers. We're for anyone who ends their address with a comma and a mo. We're for people who shake your hand and say hello, not because they know you, but because they don't. We're for contractors, road pavers, ticket takers, and horse trainers. We're for brewmasters, stockbrokers, beauty queens, and truck drivers. And if you're a 4th-generation soybean grower, don't worry. We're still for farmers too. Whatever you do, if you're a Missourian, we're for you. We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we've got Missouri covered.
Rich Irvin does not seem to understand how hard the taxpayers work for the money.
That's former Aurora Alderman Rick Lawrence, who wants you to know what he knows about Mayor Richard Irvin. So does real estate developer Dan Heitz, who said Aurora businesses needed Richard Irvin to stand with them against Pritzker's shutdown, but Irvin stood with Pritzker instead, says Heitz.
He followed Pritzker's lead, and he didn't stand up for the people of Aurora. He stood up for the government and the governor.
When Aurora residents needed Richard Irvin to protect them from rioters, Irvin stood with Black Lives Matter, according to Alderman Rick Lawrence.
Our police were told to stand down.
Dan Heitz remembers.
Basically, Richard Irvin dropped the ball. Protesters started rioting and burning. Police just standing there watching.
Richard Irvin stood with a governor who locked down Illinois and rioters who burned down his own city. It's time for Illinois conservatives to stand up and vote no on Richard Irvin.
If anybody confuses Rich Irvin with a conservative, they really didn't do their homework.
Paid for by people who play by the rules pack.
Tired of the cookie-cutter feel of some new home communities? Discover the uniqueness of Lombardo Homes at Inverness. Inverness features variable setbacks throughout the neighborhood to create a park-like setting along the streets, as well as trails with pocket parks, loads of common ground, and 4 lakes. Inverness features custom homes ranging from 1,700 to over 2,500 square feet, priced from the high 300s. Tour our decorated display within Inverness, located on the north side of Feisey Road, west of Bryan Road. For more information, visit LombardoHomes.com.
Hey, everybody, this is Charlie Brennan for our friends, the Doctors Doctors, Greg Birdie, Ranj Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andrew Royer, who are known as the Doctors Doctors because they have performed surgery on the eyes of more than 200 area doctors. And why do doctors trust Birdie, Malhotra, Brusati, and Royer? These doctors have degrees from top universities. They spend a lot of time with their patients. They have a convenient location at 270 in Manchester, not to mention Sullivan and St. Peter's. and they're expert at many different disorders of the eye, including allergic conjunctivitis, which is just a fancy way of saying allergies. Your eyes become inflamed and red and itchy and watery. The treatment is available through lubricants, decongestants, and antihistamines. Probably not a do-it-yourselfer. Learn more by making that appointment today at 314-966-5000 and online at youridoc.com. I've been a patient here for more than 25 years. youridoc.com.
If you're recently retired or nearing retirement, you've got your work cut out for you. Between soaring inflation, stock market volatility, and the threat of higher taxes, saving and investing alone won't be enough. Learn how you could overcome today's toughest retirement challenges in a one-night adult education class called Retirement 101. It's taught by a fiduciary advisor from Financial and Tax Architects, one of the largest advisory firms in St. Louis. The strategies discussed are best suited for people who have saved at least $300,000 for retirement. And if you call today, your tuition fee is waived. To register, call 314-626-8817. This is your opportunity to learn from decades of financial planning experience. Call 314-626-8817. 314-626-8817.
Hello, this is Chad Clayman with ClaymanGroup.com, KLAMEN Group.com, 314-946-9999. We buy houses direct. If you're thinking about selling, you're not sure where you're going to go, you can sign a contract with us. We are the buyer, and we can provide a flexible closing date for you. Once we've written a contract, we can actually adjust the closing date if you need to move it up or you need to move it back. A lot of people aren't sure where they're going to move next, and we can make it easy on you. ClaymanGroup.com, 314-946-9999, 946, all nines.
Are you tired of exposing your retirement to stock market risk? How would you like the potential to participate in credited interest from market index returns and limit the downside? Join me, Ben Coons, for the Retirement and Income Radio Show, heard here every Saturday at 3 p.m. on KMOX Radio. You can also call me now for your complimentary Retirement and Income book at 844-513-SAFE. That's 844-513-7233.
Not all windows are created equal. See things more clearly with an STL Windows Direct window. Compare the difference at STLWindowsDirect.com. STLWindowsDirect.com.
STL Windows Direct.
Unique in Forest Park.
Lerner and Lowe's legendary musical Camelot, an epic and royal tale of knights, forbidden love, and a dose of danger, with lush and memorable music through June 28th. For tickets, muni.org.
Make a difference in the lives of people with disabilities. Become a direct support professional at Community Living, starting at $18 an hour. Go to communitylivingmo.org/careers.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 314-441-4444. Kevin, Amy, and Chris now.
Best friends together.
Dave Glover at 2 on KMOX.
Hip, hip. All right, it's the show on KMOX. Amy, Chris, and Kevin hanging out with you till 2 o'clock. Chris, and then, of course, DGS takes over at that point. Many thanks again to John Rooney for jumping in and joining us in the last segment. Ron, I just saw this on Twitter. Amy, you'll find this interesting as well, but it's a sportsy type thing, but it's not really. You'll see what I mean. So would it be? Does this sound weird to you? Like Sports Illustrated wants to build.
Oh yeah.
A mega resort on the Mississippi coast. They want to build like a $500 million quote unquote resort.
So like I haven't read about this
restaurants,
yet.
Attractions, the whole thing. They want to make it's not odd to me that somebody would want to make
Is
a
there going to be a sports book there?
Doesn't say.
Okay.
Doesn't say immediately, but I would assume
It's got to be centered around gambling. Otherwise, there's no point.
Isn't that is there gambling in Mississippi? Is that legal?
Oh, they have casinos. I don't know if they have sports gambling.
Okay. Yeah. That's interesting to me. I'm not exactly sure who owns them now because they're not an individual company, right? Like, aren't they owned by some conglomerate of some kind? I thought SI was
Authentic Brands Group.
Yeah.
I thought they were having financial trouble the last time I heard, and this might be going back a year or two, and maybe those those financial issues have been resolved. But I always was under the impression SI was very close to being on the way out completely. So it's interesting to hear now they're about to open, or they want to open a resort.
I would bet. I mean, this is I've read the story. It doesn't really get into this in the details. I almost wonder if they're just like using the name, like somebody else is spending the money, but you're using the name Sports Illustrated. Like we've seen that, for example, Fox Sports Radio is not really owned by Fox Sports.
Right.
It's just they use the branding to market the radio. I almost wonder if it's that, but they are building a place now in the Dominican Republic. There's one coming in Orlando in a couple years, and now they're talking about this one. It's just the reason I bring it up is like Sports Illustrated is a brand that was much bigger 25 years ago. Like right now, that brand is not like, ooh, Sports Illustrated, I'm going to check that out.
Yeah, that's why it's interesting
now it's more
to
like
me.
Sports Illustrated, that's still around?
Like, really? Like, ESPN is a much bigger name in sports.
Of course.
And if they
Fox
were to say,
is a much bigger name.
If they were to say they're going to open a resort, I would think that's kind of weird. So the fact it's Sports Illustrated and ESPN is a Disney property. So it's not like they don't have the money.
Right.
I mean, they could certainly do it if they wanted to, but SI getting into it seems odd to me.
Yeah, and again, I don't know if it's, my initial thought, well, it has to be gambling, but in the stories that I'm seeing, I don't see that mentioned.
See anything mentioned.
But I'm guessing, is it something like the Hard Rock Cafe and the Hard Rock Resorts? It says, according to the Storyland Studios founder and chief creative officer, Sports Illustrated is known worldwide for its enduring influence in the sports world, transforming the brand from a page to themed environment, then inviting sports enthusiasts, families, and adults of all ages to immerse themselves in that space. And it's going to have high-quality dining, lifestyle, and wellness experiences, celebrating some of the most iconic moments and athletes in sports history. So it's a theme park, basically.
It's weird because they're talking about this being like luxury resort entertainment type things. But you're tapping into what a pretty specific group of people like sports.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of people that, don't follow it that much or don't care.
There's got to be.
It's not going to be a draw for any of those people.
Well, I'm wondering if there's going to be a sports angle, because now that I think about it, Tunica is a huge destination for gamblers.
Yep.
If you filed a tax extension in April, don't wait until it's too late to handle your tax issues. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Drury Law Firm. Every year, thousands of Missourians file extensions when their taxes are due in April. But what people don't know is the extension only moves your deadline to file your return, not to pay your taxes. So if you didn't pay anything back in April, you could now owe taxes plus interest plus penalties. You think you've bought yourself time, but really you've just added to the total bill. If this sounds like you, call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. I am a local tax attorney with an A+ BBB rating, and I will meet with you right away to help handle your tax problems quickly. The deadline to file your return after an extension has already passed, so call the Lance Drury Law Firm now before it's too late. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. Call Attorney Lance Drury, 314-260-6120, or go to Lance, DRURY law.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
This is KMOX, the trusted voice of St. Louis. An Odyssey station.
Hey, St. Louis. I want to have an honest conversation about real estate.
Never in modern history have we seen a market like this before, and most homes are receiving multiple offers, often well over asking. You can trust that when you hire us, we will market your home correctly and professionally while saving you money. I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty, and I've been a broker for over 18 years and have helped thousands of my clients navigate every type of market, including this one. Why pay more than four? 314-441-4444.
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
Growing your family, opening your own business, retiring to travel, leaving your legacy. At Busey Bank, we know there's a lot to look forward to and a lot of planning along the way. Celebrate your life's milestones by putting your money to work with thoughtful advice, trusted resources, and proven results. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 1 o'clock, we have partly sunny skies, 89 degrees. It feels like 93 downtown at the Arch. I'm Carol Daniel. Our top story, Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell admits rate hikes could cause a recession. Here's Jason Brooks.
In his semi-annual testimony on monetary policy to the Senate Banking Committee, Powell said the Fed is strongly committed to bringing down inflation and says while the U.S. economy is well positioned to handle future rate hikes, the impact could send the economy into a recession. The Fed is coming off of its biggest rate hike in 28 years at 75 basis points, and the odds on Wall Street have been rising for a repeat move at the Fed's July meeting.
The Mortgage Bankers Association reporting the 30-year fixed mortgage rate is now at its highest level since 2009. Get ready to pay more taxes for a gallon of gas in the state of Missouri as the president announces he'll ask Congress to suspend the federal gas tax and ask states to do the same.
The gas tax was already on track to increase July 1st after Missouri passed the first increase since the 90s last year. It's headed to 29.5 cents per gallon by 2025. St. Charles State Rep. Adam Schwadron says he tried to put a stop to it during the regular session in the spring, but the Missouri legislature didn't act.
It would have suspended that for, as I said, the period of 6 months, and I would be happy to do it again any day and every day.
Gas tax rebate did pass both houses, but awaits a signature from Missouri Governor Mike Parson. Stuart McMillan, KMOX News.
Missouri Senate Majority Leader Caleb Rowden is calling on pro-life groups, including Missouri Right to Life PAC, to withdraw their endorsements of Eric Greitens. Eagle Forum PAC Monday called Greitens' video for hunting rhinos, Republicans in name only, disturbing, and called for him to withdraw from the race. Eagle Forum in turn called Greitens a crino, a conservative Republican in name only. Monday, Senator Rowden notified the Missouri Highway Patrol following a tweet directed at him, Governor Parson, and other Missouri lawmakers from Greitens that said, "We're coming for you." That tweet was quickly taken down from a Twitter account that appeared to not be associated with Greitens. The Highway Patrol confirmed to KMOX that Rowden had contacted them, but they would not say if they've launched an investigation.
Kopi.
The fish formerly known as Asian carp is now Kopi. Chef and Chicago restaurateur Brian Jupiter, part of a large-scale production introducing the new name today. Kopi is short for copious, and Jupiter says that works well because of the many dishes that can be made with the fish, like Kopi tacos.
Much better than Asian carp tacos, right? And even Kopi po' boys. Chefs and manufacturers will have no problem fitting it on menus or packaging.
Illinois Department of Natural Resources reports it took 2 years to come up with the new name for Asian carp. It is designed to address public misconceptions about the top feeding fish. The first Mid-Bank and Trust business desk, it's called the Grand Pads program through the St. Louis County Library, and now it's expanding to give even more seniors a tablet to stay connected.
Another 1,500 tablets are being purchased using ARPA funds. They give seniors the ability to get on the internet, play games, and do phone and video calls.
Social isolation for seniors is a serious public health concern. According to current estimates, there are almost 25,000 seniors in St. Louis County without a computer at home, and almost 35,000 seniors with no computer or internet.
County Library Director and CEO Kristen Sorth says the Grand Pads have had a huge impact. They're accepting applications now from county residents 75 and older who would like one. Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
The Dow from Stifel at this hour is up 119 points. Watch for crash westbound 64 on the ramp from Hanley Road. Be prepared to stop. MoDOT might be working that and along with emergency crews for another hour. There's a crash at 340 to Woodson Road. The right lane is closed in that location. The KMOX forecast, partly sunny, not as hot, and still humid. A spotty showers possible. The high near 90. Right now it's partly sunny, 89. It feels like 93 downtown at the Arch. I'm Carol Daniel, KMOX News.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than $4? 314-441-4444.
On the show on KMOX. Amy Marks, of course, Chris Ranji, Kevin Wheeler with you here. All right, guys, reactions. We're going to do this. We got a little time here to play around with this. Just your thoughts initially on the idea of the gas tax holiday, the federal gas tax holiday. So they're talking about, I mean, I know we brought this up earlier in the show during the interview, but we haven't really given thoughts on it yet. So it's the federal gas tax. It's 18 cents a gallon for regular unleaded. It would be 24 cents a gallon for diesel, and that basically that would be suspended for 3 months. We would have a 3-month holiday from paying those things. So just your off the top of your head reaction to the concept, to how much impact it has, to what what it means to you. How would it impact you?
Yeah, I'll go. I think it's
great.
It's a completely political optics move. That's all it is. It's all about optics. Biden needs to look like he's doing something. His approval ratings are abysmal, historically low. I think it dropped down to 37%. It's hard to get lower than that, and somehow he's headed in that direction. The impact on individuals, I think, will be minimal. Not to say every little bit doesn't help, because it does, but folks are really struggling with inflation across the board. Could there be a much bigger impact on highways, on infrastructure plans? There could be. Senator Mitt Romney brought up that was a huge deal because the money from gas tax goes to those highways. Also, I'm concerned that it could be inflationary in a way, because you're just putting money back into pockets, but then doesn't quite deal with the whole issue of inflation. So it's not dealing with the source of inflation. It's like a little bitty Band-Aid over a gaping wound. It doesn't really do anything.
I don't think it's going to do much either. On the surface, it sounds like a good idea. It sounds like any sort of relief you can give people, that's something you should do. But I have the same concerns that you have about all of those things that you mentioned. I'm not sure it's going to have the desired effect. I know there is a desire to want to do something to fix this. I just don't really think I'm not sure there are a lot of tools in the toolbox that can be used to make this problem go away or to help it in a significant way. Maybe a little bit there is, but we're still going to be complaining about gas prices. I think if he used every possible tool he had, whatever that might be, if he did that, I still think we're going to have high gas prices. And the reason is it's happening everywhere. It's a supply issue pretty much everywhere. And we do produce a lot of oil here. In fact, the estimation was going back a couple of years, and maybe the pandemic has affected that significantly. Because production had been ramped down. I don't know if ramped down is the right phrase, but it had been minimized a little bit because there wasn't a need for gasoline during the pandemic. People weren't traveling. They weren't driving as much as they would have before that. But we make enough oil here, more than we consume. So it's not like we don't have enough for us. We just happen to export a lot of that oil. And this is a problem around the world. I've gone over it. I've mentioned other countries, and then it's like, well, it's always expensive in other countries. Yeah, and it's still more expensive in other countries than it is here. So nothing has really changed in that regard. Everywhere else, they're having problems with, like, the exception of countries like Russia. I mean, Russia's doing fine with their gas prices, but In a lot of countries in Europe, it is higher than normal, still a lot higher than here. So I'm not sure what actually can be done to make a significant difference because there are so many factors affecting what the prices are now. But this gas tax, I'm not sure it's going to make much of a difference, really. And I agree with Amy. I think it's more political than anything else. And that doesn't help me at all.
This is stupid is what it is. It's flat out stupid. So I did some researching on this. I mean, by that, I mean, I Googled people who actually did research. but as of the last within the last 5 years, typically the average American uses 656 gallons of gas per year. So the average driver, there are 214 million licensed drivers. The average uses 656 gallons a year. Now, I use a lot more than that. I drive a lot more than the regular person. I have a longer commute than a lot of people. I'm driving all over the Midwest and the South to coach baseball tournaments. I drive a lot more than that. So this would actually impact me more than the quote unquote average. So the 18% that we would save for 3 months is going to save the average person. Well, let's put it this way. Over the course of a year,
it's like $120.
$118.
Yeah.
So if we're going to do it very simply and multiply it by 3 months, we're saving $29.50 a month for the average driver by doing this. I'm sorry. No, for the 3 months, you're going to save $30 based on the average usage. Now, again, I don't know that counts businesses like landscaping businesses and others that use fuel. I mean, I don't know that it counts that because it's specifically talking about drivers, like the average American driver. I'm sure that doesn't apply to professional drivers like truck drivers and things along those lines. So it's going to affect different people in different ways. But the average person is basically saving $10 a month if they do this. $10 a month is not changing anybody's life. I don't care where you are on the income spectrum.
Well, you can't get Netflix now.
Yeah. I mean, oh my gosh. I mean, that's kind of the point. Okay, great.
It's less than Netflix is what I'm saying.
Yeah. So if you're struggling, you can have one more streaming service for 3 months.
Yeah.
I mean, like, this is pointless. That amount of that amount of quote unquote help is pointless.
Yeah. Well, I think if this is, and it does appear to be just a political thing, or at least like, hey, we're doing something about this, I'm not even sure it's going to have that desired effect. I don't know that it will play as well as they're hoping it will.
And gas and oil prices are capricious and fickle, and I know they're not entirely in Biden's hands, but we know that policies do affect the price of gas to a point. And again, it really gets into the weeds of things, and you'd have to hash out the regulations and how oil companies are making money and what they're incentivized to do, because companies operate on the incentive of making money. As federal regulations increase, oil companies are making more money on less supply. They're making a greater profit per barrel than they would if they had a greater supply.
Right.
And I know there are different regulations.
So you can't force them to produce more.
Right. They're making it more expensive to have, because of climate change and the real cost of climate change, it's becoming more and more expensive for gas and oil companies. And so they find, well, wait a minute, we can actually continue to make greater profits if we have less. I know in February, there are a bunch of new oil and gas leases and permits that were just paused because a federal judge was blocking certain estimates that included higher costs because of climate change. And another judge said, well, that's not legal. And so the Biden administration paused all these leases and permits for more gas and oil production. And then that slowed things down. Again, this is really getting into the weeds.
But there are also wells that are available and they already have the lease and they're just not using them.
Well, and that's like let's see the details of that, and let's see how does this affect the projections of gas and oil prices. It's very confusing. We were looking at, you said, when was the last time gas was below $2, right?
And that was actually, it shocked you.
It did. I was like, oh,
it was
not in my lifetime.
1999, and there were a couple of months in 1999, 2000 where it was under
it's been a long time. But I think during the pandemic, it may have happened just because nobody was driving.
It did, right? That was the point.
Right,
the last time before that was like when Amy started driving.
Yes. So like in a regular economy, it's been high for a long, long time.
I want to say it was either April and May or May and June of 2020 it was about $1.95 on average across the country.
Well, and that's why the gas and oil, it's so confusing because when it was so cheap back in 2020, Charlie and I were talking about it. And I'm not even going to pretend like I'm an expert in this, but the whole contango where you have the futures price of that commodity higher than the spot price. And we were trying to wrap our brains around it. It's a disaster, but it is interesting to note that policies do make a difference. They may not be the only reason, but they make a difference.
And it seems to me like we are, I do think that's part of it, but it seems like we are losing focus of what is probably the major problem here. And as you have companies who realize they're making a ton of profit and there's no incentive whatsoever for them to not, because now they have a built-in excuse. They are pretty much flying under the radar as far as being blamed for what's going on. It's like, this is great. The president's getting blamed for this. We could still make a ton of money though, and nobody's looking at us. But most of it has to be them. Some of it is Biden policy, sure, fine. But you would have to convince me and show me the numbers that it's his policies over everything else that is the biggest problem. I would venture to guess it is the companies making a ton of money that just want to keep making a ton of money.
Which is why we need to make sure that however the system is set up, it incentivizes companies to both make money and have lower prices because a company is designed to make money, and you can't count on that company's altruism to keep prices low for everyone else. Right.
We know that.
And so if you build a program that's so regulated that somehow it incentivizes higher prices for us and greater profits for that company, that's not great. I'm not taking the blame away from the company, but you cannot count on altruism.
One thing that we could do as a nation, and that means us and the people that we elect, is to tell them, okay, fine, we know that they're not incentivized to do what's best for the American citizen, right? Their incentive is to make more. Fine. When things are bad, they don't get our money. They don't get bailed out during COVID because they're making all of this before and after. It's never going to go away. There's
no risk. They have no risk.
So that to me is like, that's something policy wise we could say as a nation.
But we don't do that.
If you don't care about us, then when the times are tough, keep your hands in your pockets and don't reach out for my money. You don't get it because you keep all the other stuff. If you're going to keep that, fine, we're keeping ours.
Yeah, you don't have to convince me. I'm right there with you on that.
Yeah, I mean, you can't fix the past. It already happened, but maybe that would be an idea. Hey guys, you want it to be, you keep yours all the time. Fine, you're on your own. Save for a rainy day because when it gets bad, we're not helping you.
When it comes to a commodity, it's astounding to me that we are allowing companies to let profit drive everything.
For everything online, it's Odyssey.com. Download the Odyssey app and listen to KMOX for all the news, sports, talk, and podcasts that move you. Odyssey, that's AUDACY.
Getting coverage from the right health insurance shouldn't be complicated. Health Markets can help you search for a plan that fits your needs and budget with just a few clicks and questions. Health Markets scans and ranks insurance plans to find the right fit for you. Apply for whatever type of insurance you need. Health, Medicare, dental, vision, life, and more. You can shop online at healthmarkets.com/easy or call one of our local licensed insurance agents by calling 833-833-5570. Take advantage of one-stop shopping to get free quotes and compare products from recognized insurance companies in your area. Get started today for free by visiting healthmarkets.com/easy or by calling 833-833-5570. That's healthmarkets.com/easy or call 833-833-5570. Health Markets Insurance Agency Incorporated is licensed as an insurance agency in all 50 states and the District of Columbia. Service and product availability varies. Sales agents may be compensated based on enrollment.
See the doctors of Ophthalmology Associates, experts in diagnosis and treatment of diseases of the eye. Call for an appointment. 314-966-5000.
Recent impacts with inflation, ongoing COVID concerns, and geopolitical conflict have us all and the markets on edge. Heisey Advisory Group understands the importance of having a customized strategy for retirement, especially during uncertain times, to help ensure these concerns don't have an impact on your retirement. Heisey Advisory Group is a St. Louis-based, family-owned and operated holistic retirement planning firm. Our team has defined a process that puts together all the pieces of the financial puzzle, working with all of your service providers to help develop an individualized plan that grows with you as your life changes and your needs evolve. If you're not confident that your retirement plan is on track to deliver the lifestyle you want amid historic levels of uncertainty, call us today at 314-328-4400. That's 314-328-4400.
Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Firm provides insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
If you're planning to sell your St. Louis area home, now may be the best time to capture the highest sale value before the market changes. This is Debbie Monterey, and according to industry experts, the real estate market has shifted. Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty agrees, and she has options to help every type of home seller because she understands that every situation is different. If you need to sell your home quickly, but you're worried about finding your next home, Gloria has your answers and solutions. Gloria has an instant cash offer program that gives you above market cash offers, no showings, no hassles, and you pick the closing date even up to a year, giving you the cash and time needed to find your next home. Call Gloria Liu and ask her about the instant cash offer guarantees or other options that will help you sell fast and for the most money. Call 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888. It's Gloria Liu of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria has the buyers.com.
If you have a kitchen or bath remodel that you're going through, or maybe you're adding a garage or a pool, or you've got a business or industrial setting that has electrical issues or projects, trust the pros at Reinhold Electric. They've been doing it for decades. Heck, you see the Reinhold Electric trucks all over the metro area and beyond. They do work in homes and businesses all over St. Louis, St. Charles, Lake of the Ozarks, southwestern Illinois, and they have a 24-hour emergency service at their phone number. You will always be answered by a live person when you call Reinhold Electric. Now, if it's something you're planning, like you're going to get an electric car and you need that charger in your garage, Reinhold Electric can handle that. If you've been thinking about getting an inline generator, because when storms roll through the Midwest, it can get dicey, inline generators are so popular and a great investment to make sure you have power when the power company does not provide it. Get a hold of Reinhold Electric right away by calling 314-631-1158 or online at reinholdelectric.com. Tell them Bo sent you to Reinhold Electric.
Live and local, this is St. Louis's News Radio, KMOX.
.122 on the show on KMOX. Amy Marks, of course, Chris Rottengy, Kevin Wheeler with you here. We got Cardinals baseball coming up tonight, by the way, 6:15 for the pregame show, 7:10 first pitch. Adam Wainwright starting for the Cardinals. And, of course, not doing the Waino and Yachty countdown because Yachty's on the injured list for the time being. But Adam Wainwright going out there tonight. And, again, big series. The Cardinals won last night. It's 1-1 so far. I would say a split would be okay. But boy, wouldn't it be nice to get 3 out of 4 on the road?
Sure. But I'll take that split. I mean, it's June 22nd. You want to build a lead. You'd like to, every game counts, right? But, I'll be satisfied with a split.
Hey,
it's fine.
I have a question for you, Wheels.
I will answer it.
All right. So when you're...
And if I don't have one, I'll make one up.
Oh, we know that.
Oh, yeah, that's all too common. When your daughter was younger, because she's in college now.
Yeah, she's 25.
Okay.
But she's going to PhD. She's like, yes, grad student.
When she was in grade school, PhD, high school.
Smarter than all of us.
Did you have co-ed sleepovers? Like, would a bunch of high school kids come over and have co-ed sleepovers?
No.
So this is apparently a very common thing. This was not part of my growing up. Would you, Ron? Was it like all your high school friends would all crash in the family room? Like your parents were home, but...
I mean, that was basically college.
Sure, but high school is different because it's your mom and dad's house, right?
I know.
Oh, yeah, no, we didn't do that.
I never even would have thought to bring it up.
Neither would I.
I mean,
I never would have thought to bring it up.
I never had anybody bring up the idea. And by the way, if we did back in that time, and we didn't, I want to be clear that this did not happen. But if it did, it would have been somebody's parents are on vacation, and we tell all of our parents that it's just going to be the guys, and we're going to go, and the other parents are cool. They're going to be there and all that. Like, that's how high school students do things.
You know, you don't get that type of detail unless you've lived it.
No, we didn't. I swear, I would admit it. I would totally admit it.
Anyway,
I mean, it did happen one time.
I think Kevin's lying to us. He's lying to us like he lied to his parents.
It wasn't at home, though. It was actually overseas in France on an exchange trip.
Oh, that doesn't count.
At a hotel in Paris. Doesn't count. Well, we had a co-ed sleepover, let's just say.
Yeah. We didn't really... we didn't do that as kids. You didn't think... Like, I had friends who were girls, I guess, in grade school, but I didn't think of like, oh, let's have a sleepover.
So here's why it came up. So Jeff Smith, former Missouri state senator, friend of the show in KMOX. So he tweeted out, so I'm guessing it's cool that I read this because he put it on Twitter, that his 8-year-old daughter, I guess, wanted to have a sleepover for her birthday, and the person she wanted to have sleep over is a boy. And it reminded me of when I was 8, because my best friend was Kyle, and on Kyle's birthday, he wanted me to sleep over. And, you know, we're 8, so it's totally innocent, but I would always get homesick as a kid, but I had so much fun with Kyle. We were such good friends. It was the only time I didn't get homesick. So
that makes so much sense.
I went over to his house, and we like played cowboys, and he had moon shoes. Do you remember when moon shoes were in? Those were so much fun, and all the scooters. But then I had Kyle's brother's bedroom, and then Kyle and his brother in another bedroom. And it was no big deal. And we had to sleep over. And then the next morning, I remember we woke up and ate pancakes and played Monopoly. It was the best time ever. But this tweet from Jeff reminded me of, like, it's so innocent when they're little. But then my friends have always talked about, we would always just crash at each other's houses.
I never had that.
That was not part of my...
In high school.
I
mean, we did that,
especially in high school.
We would do that, like, the group of guy friends, but it's not like anybody's parents are like, sure, bring your girlfriends too.
Right.
Like, that did not happen.
Yeah, never thought about that. And I know this much. If I ever
But
get...
in Paris...
Well, yeah, but you're in Paris
elaborate?
Do
unsupervised.
you want the story?
Yes.
Ron, do you want the story?
Well, I guess we kind of have to.
You don't have to. No.
Why don't you tell it in French?
Yeah, tell it.
All right, I'm not going to do that because nobody will understand it. So,
Oh, you're serious?
exchange program.
He's the
So
only
he's so
one
much
that
more
speaks
advanced than the
French.
rest of us.
Yeah. Did you know I have a house too? Exchange
All right.
program in high school, and my parents now know about this, I think, but even if they don't, sorry, mom and dad. So we're an exchange program.
You're too
in
old
high
to get
school.
in trouble.
I know. So that's why I say I'm sorry, because I'm not really sorry. But you're in an exchange program, whole month there, you live with a family, and then the final weekend, you spend a couple of days and nights in Paris before you fly back. And there is a chaperone who is my uncle. My uncle is Father Wheeler. He is a Catholic priest. He is a really great guy, but he is really strict. He's also our French teacher. And there's a group of us, about 15 high school boys, in our hotel that we're staying at in Paris. Turns out there are another group of American students who happen to be ladies. And it's Paris. We made some friends. We're hanging out in my room. Like, there's 3 guys to a room, and there was 3 of us. And then another guy came over to hang out, and then like 4 or 5 of the girls. And it was probably 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And I just, like, everybody's thirsty. So I go down to the vending machines. I get some Cokes. I got an armful of all of these things, like 6, 7, 8 Cokes. And guess who's standing outside the elevator when I get back to our floor?
Who?
Father Wheeler.
Oh,
my uncle.
No.
And he gives me this look.
Oh,
and it was
no.
actually the first time he ever said anything like this to me. What the hell are you doing out of your room? And I'm like, I was thirsty.
So you got 12 Cokes?
This is 16-year-old me. I'm like, yeah, we were thirsty.
Mhm.
And I said, we were thirsty. We couldn't sleep because we were just having too much fun. We're too excited. And he's like, all right, let's go. I'm taking you back to the room.
And he
Oh, no.
did?
He did. So what I did is I get there, I put everything on the ground. And as he was walking up to me, I put the key in upside down and backwards so it
you
wouldn't
pretended,
work.
yes.
And then walked a couple steps past, opened the door, got in real quick, and was like, shh, don't make a move or we're dead.
He was a bad kid.
Why should I buy from you? Always ask. Hi, I'm Chuck Easter with Easter Fence Deck and Renovations. When working with Easter, you know it's not just about making a buck. Our commitment is to do what's right. We are a third-generation family business. A lot of pride goes into every fence, deck, and sunroom. Our name is on it, and we guarantee it. Even if it was the first job Dad did in 1957, if we didn't do it right or didn't do what we said, we'll fix it for free. Call 314-892-8500 or easterfence.com.
What are you watching?
Those governor candidates accusing each other. It's awful. I've done my research and I'm voting for Gary Rabine. Gary Rabine talks about real issues, slashing property taxes, loosening restrictions on businesses, and supporting law enforcement. Rabine built one of America's largest paving companies from scratch.
I'm Gary Rabine. I can and will beat Pritzker. Let's turn Illinois around. It's Rabine time.
Paid for by Rabine for governor.
Hi guys, are you struggling with erectile dysfunction and sick of the pills? Well, today, Wednesday, June 22nd, we're running a one-day special you won't want to miss out on. Pineview Medical Clinic uses the most powerful form of wave therapy. 60 studies now say this technology can get rid of your ED without pills. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED, call us now and you'll qualify for the assessment and ultrasound totally free. You'll also get a gift that produces powerful results in the bedroom. You're going to love that. And today only, we're offering 5 tune-up treatments to our patients free. This is our most lucrative offer ever, and it's only good today, Wednesday, June 22nd. It's worth $1,000, but call today and qualify totally free. 314-530-7777. That's 314-530-7777. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction. Call Pineview Medical Clinic now to qualify. This offer ends today. 314-530-7777.
At 11:30, we have partly sunny skies. It's 90 degrees. It feels like 95 downtown at the Arch. A bill sits on the governor's desk in Jefferson City to allow for gas tax rebates in Missouri. This, as President Biden is asking Congress to pause the federal gas tax for 3 months. State Representative Adam Schwarden explains how the gas tax rebate bill would work in Missouri.
Missouri citizens that make less than 150,000 filed single or under 300,000 married, that up to $500 tax rebate.
The St. Charles Republican introduced a bill in March that would have temporarily stopped the collection of a state gas tax for 6 months, but the legislature did not act. The gas tax is set to increase July 1st and will do so for the next 5 years. Members of the January 6th Select Committee are likely to get security details in the wake of an increase in violent threats. During the hearing yesterday, lawmakers heard searing testimony from a mother and daughter election worker in Georgia. They were falsely accused by former President Trump of cheating for Joe Biden. Shay Moss says her family got violent, racist death threats. So far, 3 lawmakers have security, but other members have been asking for protection for some time. Local nonprofit Dream Builders for Equity getting quite a gift today. Midwest Bank Center, the area's second largest locally owned community bank, is donating its North Broadway bank branch to the organization that will use it for its headquarters for financial literacy classes, training programs, and their chess program. Taking a look at the commute. Watch for a stalled vehicle southbound 270 on the right shoulder. A crash westbound 64 on the ramp from Hanley Road. Be prepared to stop there. It could be impacting traffic until about 2 o'clock this afternoon. The KMOX forecast sponsored by Metro Transit. Sunny, not as hot, still humid. A spotty storm possible. The high near 90. Clear, warm, not quite as humid tonight. The low 69. Right now, it is 90 degrees. It feels like 95 downtown at the Arch. I'm Carol Daniel, KMOX News.
Whether you're looking to fill low spots in your lawn, backfill that new retaining wall, or mulch your trees and flower beds, St. Louis Composting has the compost, soil, or mulch you need to help your plants and garden look its very best. Visit our website, stlcompost.com, for more information.
Driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Guys, I want to talk to you man to man about erectile dysfunction and PE. The physicians at Paramount Men's Medical Center offer custom blended medications that have men lasting 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history. See results on your first visit, guaranteed, or your exam is free. Men, if Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down, call Paramount Men's Medical Center now. 314-720-8081. That's 314-720-8081.
5-minute cash offer on your house. Hello, this is Chad Clayman with ClaymanGroup.com. KLAMEN Group.com. 314-946-9999. Local and family owned. We're going to buy your property direct in as-is condition. And we just rolled out the instant cash offer where you'll get an offer on your house in 5 minutes or less when you reach out to us. Find us online at ClaymanGroup.com for an instant cash offer now. KLAMEN Group.com. 946-9999. 314-946 all nines.
Attention business owners. This is a public awareness message from the ThrottleNet cybersecurity team. The war against hackers and ransomware is underway. The only way to prevent the war from impacting your business is to speak with the ThrottleNet cybersecurity team immediately. You need to act now. The ThrottleNet cybersecurity team is prepared to protect you against cyber threats. Schedule a meeting right away by visiting throttlenet.com/cyberwar.
Find out what's happening with your Redbirds from the manager himself, Oliver Marmol. Sundays at 10:15 on Sports Open Line and Wednesday mornings at 9:50. The Ollie Marmol Show.
I'm excited for not only the club but for the fans. This is a special year for sure.
On KMOX.
Chris Ranchi, Amy Marks, of course, Kevin Wheeler with you on the show on KMOX. What do you want to start with? Because there's two ways I want to go here. There's a story that you wanted to bring up, Ranj, but also Amy just had like an immediate reaction to photos coming in from the race over the weekend.
Let's finish with these photos because I think they're going to be better. But something really great just happened.
We haven't had a chance to see them yet.
No, we haven't seen them yet, so I want to react to them. But this is a baseball thing. So last night's Blue Jays White Sox game, very poorly umpired by the home plate umpire, Doug Eddings, who's been around for a long time. Well, they've got a day game today. And as they are exchanging the lineup cards before the game starts, all the umpires are at the plate. The coaches come out to bring the lineup cards. Guillermo Martinez, who is the hitting coach for Toronto, gets thrown out. He got ejected.
At the home plate meeting, yeah.
At the home plate meeting. Kevin, I don't know that I've ever seen that. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a guy get thrown out before the game starts.
It's like if you're in a video game and you die in the round where you're picking your character.
Yes.
You can't.
That is exactly
I didn't know
it.
you could die in that round.
Yeah, I didn't know you can get thrown out at the meeting at home plate. But he went after Eddings, who had a really brutal game behind the plate. That's just really funny to me. I am so glad that I got to see that.
Yeah, and that's
not
great.
Like,
They change who brings out the lineup card. Sometimes it's a bench coach. Sometimes it's
manager,
first base coach. So
be.
manager does it sometimes too. So it wouldn't be unusual at first. But what was funny about the video is that he shakes everybody's hands and then he goes in. And then it wasn't even Eddings that threw him out. Another guy threw him out. And then he went at it, and the two of them are like pointing at each other. And
awesome.
And the umpire's basically pointing, get back to the dugout. And I don't know what Martinez was pointing at, but yeah, that's pretty great.
I love that. I'm very, very happy that happened. See, people are complaining because
Professor Chaos here is.
I love the chaos.
I love that it's something weird and terrible. Well, it's not really terrible.
No, it's pretty weird
hilarious.
though. I like that a lot. But I am all on board with the idea of robot umpires. We can replace as many jobs umpires have to do. If we can get automation to take care, it's the only thing in the world that I'm pro automation is fixing the strike zone in baseball.
Well, it's because this automation won't cost anybody their job.
Right.
The home plate umpire
They'll
will
still be there.
necessary.
Yeah, but it will cost chaos. You would never have the chaos.
That's a tough call for Professor Chaos.
I
here.
know, but this is worth it.
I'm
I think.
surprised you're not the guy that's like, I want to see him out there kicking dirt on the plate and yelling.
It has to be pure. They're not allowed to wear glasses or contacts when you would want as much chaos as possible.
Now that's a great idea. If we're gonna have home plate umpires, no corrective lenses,
no LASIK,
and then the argument is you need glasses. Yes, I know, but I'm not allowed to. You need glasses, ump. I can't.
What was
against the rules?
Have you ever been thrown out of a game? Did you say that?
3 times in my entire life.
Okay, what? Explain.
All of them within the last 5 years.
Aren't you like 57?
Oh, God.
50, but okay.
Okay.
hey,
Hey, look, it took me 45 years to get thrown out of a game. I mean, I thought my record was pretty good.
Were you thrown out as a coach then?
Oh, yeah. I was never thrown out as a player.
Really? Did you get close?
No.
No? How in the world did you not get close to being
Because
thrown out?
as crazy as I am, I never wanted to be out of the game.
Literally, we're prepping for this show.
Yeah.
In the back room this morning.
And he
you're
threw a
throwing
banana at you.
Bananas across
I
the room.
said, if I throw this banana across the room, it's not because of you guys. I literally said that out loud. It's because the internet was crapping out nonstop and it was frustrating.
You sound like someone who just should be ejected from a game.
No, I mean, it's only happened 3 times
Okay,
in
so-
my entire life.
Did you say a bad word?
Lots of them. Well, after I got thrown out, though, not before.
So you weren't thrown out for saying the bad word?
No, I was not thrown out for saying the bad word. I was thrown out in 2 cases for telling the umpire he was lazy and didn't want to be here, and don't take that out on my 14-year-old players that you don't want to be here because you stayed out last night. Because they were morning games.
Now that
the guys that were back there were not paying attention. They were not doing well. And when I asked one guy, this was in Mississippi. I've only been thrown out once in town because I know all the umpires in town.
He's
They're good
always
guys.
thrown out of the game, out of
towns.
town.
Yeah, because
it's
those
always
umpires are
right.
jerks.
Yeah.
The guys in town are cool. I like them and know them and all
No
that.
KMOX listeners.
Yeah,
Well,
not-
maybe.
not in Mississippi. Yeah,
Not
maybe in
Mississippi,
Mississippi,
possible.
Indianapolis, maybe.
Did it occur to you that the local guys aren't throwing you out because they are afraid of you?
Oh no, they're not afraid of me. They would throw me out in a heartbeat.
I'm afraid of you.
You shouldn't be.
And I like you a lot.
I mean, unless the banana gets out of hand.
So
Like I throw that banana and it's a little bit of a wild throw, you might have to worry.
Kevin is basically a monkey.
I mean,
He's like a chimp that has a bad
Orangutan.
attitude.
Get
And
it right. I'm an orangutan.
you are an orangutan, probably on
Ginger.
on
So when
Xanax or something, and he's
Yeah.
mad and throwing bananas.
when I was playing hockey, the captain of our team was thrown out of a game because she said something to the ref, and our coach was super angry and was yelling at the ref, "You can't throw her out. Why are you throwing her out?" And he goes, "Well, I believe she told me to do something that was anatomically impossible."
Oh,
And then he said, "Okay."
yeah.
He's like, "You can't
So-
say that."
She told him to bend over backwards.
No, not exactly, Kevin. Somebody yesterday tweeted at me because I made a comment about umpires, just umpires in general, and this guy goes, "Don't get me started." His team, I don't know if he's coaching or playing. I think it's a softball game that he was playing in, and he said we had our chance to win our first title since 1986. I guess this team has been around for a long time, and the umpires of the game didn't want to work. And so they're just sitting in lawn chairs staring at the sky because there's a storm off in the distance and they're just looking for a hint of lightning because if
Once you see lightning,
if
you have
one
to.
little thing of lightning happens, we're like, yep, game's canceled. Let's go home.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I had
That's just amazing.
the first
Guys
time
that don't want to work.
The first time I got thrown out, it was a guy that was clearly hungover.
Yeah.
It was an 8:00 in the morning game. He was clearly hungover, and he was not. He was just. It was like Doug Eddings. Like the calls were just terrible. And I asked loudly, but I asked, "Blue, where's that pitch?" And he wouldn't look at me. And I'm like, you can't answer that. And he still didn't look at me. The next pitch, he called a strike on a 14-year-old. Eye high.
Yeah.
I mean, the pitch was head high, and he called it a
He's
strike.
sticking it to you.
I lost it.
He's
I lost
sticking it, Kevin.
I went nuts right at that moment because, you don't do that to a kid. That's ridiculous. You don't like that I asked you a question, so you hosed the kid? That's terrible. I lost it.
You're coaching pretty high level baseball, right?
Yeah, they're good players.
So how old are the umpires?
Oh, no, we have mostly grown people.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have a lot of young, like, teenagers or whatever. If we get anybody that's young, it's guys in their, like, late 20s, early 30s that
You're
are
not
trying to
getting
be
any,
college age.
Okay, not like 16-year-olds.
I would not yell at a teenager for that. No. You're a teenager. I mean, you're not going to be great at it.
So
I would never do that.
Kevin, as Amy has been so liberal with the idea of calling you old and me old. Let's now talk about the
you
photos.
called her old yesterday.
Let's talk about. I did not. Let's talk
You
about the
did.
photos of Amy falling apart. Like her
Wow.
her body's falling apart, and she's calling us
Well,
old.
what you said yesterday was she's an 80-year-old in a 40-year-old body. Wow, you definitely are hurting there.
Look at how much I'm hurting in this
Oh my
picture.
God!
Why would you do that to yourself?
I know.
Oh God, she looks like
You
she's
should tweet that.
Okay, I'll tweet it. But this is me afterwards, super happy that I made it. I know I'm showing pictures, but basically anyone
Okay,
who's
that's
ever
a smiley look.
anyone who's ever run a race, you get the marathon photo. And in fact, there was an editor for Runner's World. He wrote an article called, Dear Run Photo, Why Do You Hate Me? Because they're always famously bad pictures. And so the one when you can laugh at yourself, it's a good thing. And as you all know, I blew up in the marathon really early on and was suffering. And so these pictures, you were suffering, but then you get the pictures that reflect your suffering. It's kind of funny.
And that first photo looks like you have no idea where the closest porta potty is.
But I'm kind of like hunched
You're like,
over.
I'm in trouble. I am in trouble. Get me to a bathroom quickly.
Imagine what someone looks like running. Now imagine any other body position where your arms are just flailing and you're kind of hunched over. That's what this picture is.
Yeah, that's not great. You ever do the thing on video to friends? Have you ever done this where you like freeze frame the dumbest look on their face?
No,
that you
because
can find?
I have respect for my friends.
I do this to my brother.
You do it to me.
I had a video of him and I just pause it right where his face is in one of those like derp faces, and I send it to him.
That's so mean because you take bad photos of Raj.
All the time, yeah. Kevin likes to post fat neck photos of me.
I mean,
he likes to
hey,
post
listen.
like, oh, hey, let's take this. Oh, Raj looks fat here. Here's one with his gullet hanging out.
I just got a derp face on.
Good. Let me post this gullet
Hello,
derp
Twitter.
face. See? Kevin is a butthole.
Derp face pics coming up in just a minute.
Jerk.
Are you tired of exposing your retirement stock market risk? How would you like the potential to participate in credited interest from market index returns and limit the downside? Join me, Ben Coons, for the Retirement and Income Radio Show, heard here every Saturday at 3 p.m. on KMOX Radio. You can also call me now for your complimentary retirement and income book at 844-513-SAFE. That's 844-513-7233.
Mark Cox here. Join me as we head to enchanting Germany to see fairy tale castles like Neuschwanstein and picturesque Bavarian villages, medieval Munich, the world-famous Hofbrauhaus, even Mozart's Salzburg in Austria, too. Join me this fall, $49.49. That includes your airfare. Call 888-733-9494 or go online today to conservativetours.com. That's conservativetours.com.
Whether you have an emergency plumbing issue or you are planning maybe a remodel for your kitchen or your bathroom, you need a plumber. Beast Plumbing wants to be that plumber. Beast Plumbing online is a great website and a great resource to start off with. So go to BEISplumbing.com or put them in your contacts. I'll give you their number in just a moment. But whether it's a sewer repair, a faucet repair, a toilet repair, or you just don't like the taste of your water, Beast Plumbing, 314-698-1154. Tell them Bo sent you to Beast Plumbing.
We're all on this planet together. So join Odyssey and find your one thing. Don't buy plastic toys for your pet. Instead, look for natural materials like cotton, rope, wood, or bamboo. Join Odyssey, and together each of us doing one thing makes a greener tomorrow. What's your one thing?
Why choose proven quality sleep from Sleep Number? Because our Sleep Number 360 smart bed is really smart. It senses your movement and automatically adjusts to help keep you both comfortable. Plus, it's temperature balancing so you stay cool. It's even smart enough to know exactly how long, how well, and when you slept, and to help you get almost 30 minutes more restful sleep per night. Sleep Number takes care of the science. All you have to do is sleep. During our lowest prices of the season, the Queen Sleep Number 360 C2 smart bed is only $8.99, only for a limited time. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
When you're an innovative business, every blinking cursor is an opportunity. What will you do with it? Will you make something better or create something new? Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with expertise and tools with Windows 11 to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. To do more with a Latitude laptop, Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at Ask Dell.
Tom Ackerman for Building Community with Busey Bank, a podcast series easily accessible at KMOX.com/community banking. With a focus on community banking, who better to join us than Sandy DeMond, Senior Vice President and Director of Community Banking at Busey. She joined Jeff Burgess and me to discuss Busey's financial literacy programs available to both students and adults. Listen to our June podcast, Building Community with Busey Bank, at KMOX.com/community banking.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Bill talks about why he loves 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
I was looking to renovate a home that I purchased. They came out, did all of the work in a timely fashion, and looks first rate.
Bill, would you recommend 3-Day Kitchen and Bath?
Oh, yes, definitely. Not only because of the quality of the work, but also the quality of the service along the line. From the beginning until the end, they were there and with me. And as we went along, I saw some things that I thought I might want to change, and we're happy to do that. Really pleased with the way they work. As I said, not only the quality of the work, but also the quality of the service along the way.
It's about time.
3 days or less
at 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Did you know that the average family home takes on 40 pounds of dust per year? Call 314-474-2020 and ask for the DGS special and get $75 off any air duct cleaning packages. That's Zero-Res. Spell it backwards or forwards. It spells the same. ZeroResSTL.com.
Transform your home into the most beautiful home in your neighborhood with Banner Construction, St. Louis's premier James Hardy and Pella window expert. Add curb appeal and value to your home by calling Banner Construction 314-569-1050. It's the best deal in town. Get up to 2 dozen donuts for $8.99 a dozen at Old Town Donuts in Cottleville and Florissant. To get your coupon, go to oldtowndonuts.com.
Community Living Incorporated is a local nonprofit organization on a mission to provide services and create opportunities for people with disabilities. See how you can get involved at communitylivingmo.org.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444.
You know that new sound you're looking for? Well, listen to this.
The show on KMOX.
Kevin's over there trying to take fat neck photos of me. I'm looking at him. I'm
It's
watching
so
you
neat.
sneaking with that phone.
I did not take a single fat neck photo.
Yeah, you did.
I got a couple of derps.
Yeah, you got a couple of derps and you posted them. You could go to @the-show KMOX on Twitter and see my derp photos.
and we also want to caption them.
Oh.
Caption them. You did the best caption.
Which one?
Your comment was the best caption for your picture.
You? Yes. I don't think I can use that.
No, you can't say that on the radio either.
I
but
can't.
You could say that on Twitter. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Okay. Hey, guys, you want to hear something that I think is a great idea? Michigan is now officially the 14th state in the U.S. to guarantee that students have access to a personal finance education course before high school graduation. I think this is a great idea.
That is so great.
How has this not already been a thing like forever?
I know. And
Like of
wasn't
all
it
the
a thing
things
a
you
while
learn,
ago?
yeah, and all the things you learn, all the things you need when you're going to be an adult, I would put that in the top 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like personal finance, like understanding what you're doing, how to do it, good process, bad process. Learn some about some investments and 401ks and things like these are things you're going to need to know. Way more useful than say, I don't know, calculus for someone who's going to talk on the radio
now,
for a living.
We were talking about this off
Mm-hmm.
the air, and you still need to be exposed to those things because while we need the real world skills, we still also need to create mathematicians and scientists. So we have to expose them to science and to advanced mathematics and algebra and whatnot.
Yeah.
We have to do that. Do those things. Do they still teach driver's ed in school? Or is that a thing you do on the side now?
It might be, state to state for sure. In Missouri, do they have driver's ed?
It doesn't seem like it. Have Have you driven here?
I know.
Yeah, we
I
didn't
don't
take
know.
driver's ed as a class. I mean, we took it
So
as a
I
class, but
did.
we didn't take it as part of school.
We did. It was like a
Illinois.
designated. Yeah, I can't remember. Like 6th or 7th hour or whatever. You had driver's ed, and you had driver's ed class. And
But
you
I
had little
think-
simulators, and then you went out in the real car.
Yeah, and think of how like home ec classes have changed.
Yeah.
And woodworking. Do they still do woodworking?
I never did anything like that.
Every place is a little different. But again, I think that whether it's specifically woodworking or not, but learning skills about doing things like doing the things that are involved in the trades. Why
You
not?
should learn stuff like that
And
too.
again, it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be mandatory. That doesn't. But personal finance will apply no matter what you do.
Right.
If you have a job, that will apply to you. And it's an important skill that a lot of people just don't have. I don't get those things. And, thankfully, at some point, my wife figured out how to do those things. And then we got onto a track where we knew what we were doing. But we were like 26, 27 years old by the time we figured out, oh, yeah, we should probably have a plan and a budget and like all these different ways of just like making sure you're not behind.
So did your parents have a talk with you about budgeting or personal finance or teach you those things growing up or not really?
Not as much as, but you know what? Part of it's my fault too, because I don't think when I was in high school, I had an interest in learning it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't take it upon myself, or if I was being taught lessons, I probably didn't pay attention. And I do wish that I had done that a whole lot better then. No, I mean, knowing how much it would affect you later in life. And here's the thing about being a kid. I know a lot of people can attest to this, but there are a lot of times an adult tells you, hey, you're going to be happy you know this in 30 years, or you're going to wish you had paid more attention in this thing 25 years from now. And most of the time they are 100% correct that you do wish you had paid better attention. And I'm mad at myself about a lot of those things now.
Like what?
No, I probably should have paid better attention in just about everything.
Because I that was what I was told in the classes in high school that I did not enjoy. Like I didn't love math-based science, and I didn't like the higher level math. I didn't like calculus and all that. It was made my brain hurt.
Yeah,
and
that wasn't for me.
I did enough work to get the grade I needed to get, but it was awful and didn't like it. And I got all those speeches like, "You're going to be happy you know this when you get to college." I never needed it, never used it. I have not used calculus once since I had it in high school.
Well, you worked out your brain. You exercised your brain by trying to expand what you know, even if you didn't necessarily use calculus. It's the whole pathways of learning that whole shebang.
Oh,
Anyway,
so he
I lost the will to live halfway through that sentence.
I was like, where are we going?
Yeah.
This went from like a rah-rah pep speech into you just give up.
That's like,
Just give up. It's okay. You don't need it.
Amy, that was like reading all-star ballot results.
I will say we did do personal finance with my parents. I remember being really young, and we have this fake little checkbook and checking account, where your dad helped you keep track of the money. And of all the things that I learned about finance, I feel like I took away the wrong thing. Like, I feel like I learned how to spend money. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
I learned
I
like
could do
you can
that
spend money with cash
real
or
good.
with a check or with
Yeah.
a credit card.
Here's the thing on this. Like, my dad is really great at this stuff.
Yeah.
And he tried really hard to get me and my brother to pay attention to these things.
See, that's my problem.
But here's the thing. A lot of people, a lot of kids do not want to hear from their parents when it comes to like that kind of stuff. Like,
you just want to spend it. It's money. It's literally burning a hole in your pocket.
Yeah, but like also like just doing the checkbook and doing your own taxes and all that. My dad would try to be like, "Here, come here, son," and I'd be like, "I don't want to hear more from you."
Yeah.
I mean, if it's in school and I have to, and I'm getting a grade, I'm gonna do it.
Right. I wish I had been better at math in general. I got to tell you, when I was in 3rd grade and we did the times tables test,
Killed it.
I was the last one finished.
Oh,
I was so
no.
bad.
That's so sad.
I know. I'm pathetic.
I'm great at multiplication.
Good for you.
The sibling rivalry continues. That's going to wrap it up for the show. DGS coming up next here on KMOX.
Soaring inflation, rising interest rates, stock market volatility, and higher taxes. How will these unprecedented challenges impact you and your retirement? Find out in a one-night adult education class Retirement 101.